And good afternoon, everyone. You are on Duff TV. This is the Southern Kookaburra, Southern Cricket Association Kookaburra T20 final. Pete Roberts, and joining me in the commentary today is Jon Anning. Welcome, John.
Thanks, Peach. Looking forward to it.
Now, you've done some research. We'll just give a recap as the team's coming out onto the ground. So Derwent opening up first. We imagine Murphy's going to be one. The star from North Hobart is in pretty good nick at the moment. Got a century against Knights in round one, which is some time ago, but he's been batting pretty well for North Hobart. They won the toss, they're batting. What do you expect, John, from the first sort of couple of overs?
I expect some hard hitting, Peach. Corey made 112, I believe, in the first round off about 50-odd deliveries. So I expect some really exciting cricket. Yeah,
so Derwent probably haven't featured in the top of the table clashes for a while. Knights winning last year's T20 Grand Final. That was not a surprise. They've got a really compact side, but at the moment, opening up, looks like we'll just have to confirm that we might have some.
Satnam Singh with Corey.
Yeah, so Singh is opening up, so they had a bit of a change. So I personally think the benefit of Knights, pretty tight gig group. They've kind of come up through the ranks. They've got a lot of players that have been playing with their team for a while. Their pace attack, or their medium pace attack, is going to be good. This is a fast-scoring ground, and John, you would have played on it a few times. The ball can rocket across that outfield.
Certainly can.
So other than Singh, I haven't actually seen Singh play before. What do you expect? Have you sort of got an idea of what we can expect in these first couple of overs?
Look, I haven't. It's a mystery to me, and I think that kind of makes it all the more exciting.
A little bit of something we haven't seen before anyway. So we're about to kick off in the Kookaburra SCA T20 Grand Final Super Bash here at North Warrane. Singh to face the first ball as a slip and a gully in place. The rest of the field's pretty standard. The one outside the circle on the leg side is a deep wicket covering just in front of the change rooms there. Generally, this is a ground with rugby during the winter months, but I can tell you what, it's probably one of the best outfields in the comp. Now's the first big shot, so there you go. That's why that deep mid-wicket's out there, John. He's ready to catch the ball.
Looks a really good start. A real good bit of military medium from Matthew McConnell.
See, McConnell, I've seen him bowl a lot, and he literally will give you no half volleys. And that's probably why he can probably play with it. And that's his natural delivery. Little bit of a tricky pitch, though. I always found this pitch a fraction narrow. It also, you reckon it's got a dead spot. Is it this end of the ground?
I believe, from memory, it is this end of the ground. There is a dead spot.
Yeah, so I think I've seen a few sort of not really get up as the first runs are on the board as Singh just knocks that down to the mid-off, and he'll be happy because he's played a couple of very average shots just to get rid of those nerves.
It's always a great feeling to get off the mark in a T20 Grand Final, that's for sure.
Get off the mark in any game of cricket's a bonus. We saw a few ducks about 3 Ks away here a few days ago, where the lads in the Ashes were playing. But now we've got the community cricket. And McConnell now is going to have Murphy. And they're just getting the stumps. In fact, I reckon they need to get the leveler out there. Those stumps don't look that straight to me. No, they're happy with it. This will be interesting. Murphy will want to go square of the wicket. That's his game. And they've got protection again deep on the leg side. So that's into the body, you'd imagine, where McConnell's going to bowl, you'd think, John.
I believe so. Just that short of a length, cramp him right up, give him absolutely no room to free his arms.
And look, on these sort of wickets, you can take it on, but it's not always easy. That back of the length stuff is underrated, as that's a full ball. And there's found a gap through the offside. There should be a couple. Not the widest of boundaries, and they've picked up a couple of runs. There's a confident movement into that shot there from Murphy, so that'll give him some confidence. The first over gone here in the SCA Grand Final. So McMillan, the coach at North Hobart, he's listed next. He got some runs of late. A good all-round cricketer in TCA cricket for many years. Lansdale's been dropped a little down. He might also potentially come in at 3 as Singh is getting himself set up. What I love about community cricket on the Syntho turfs is the chalk. The chalk is one of my funnest bits. Get the chalk out, make your mark. You even see blokes trying to scratch it at times.
You do. One of the more ridiculous things you see, people trying to scratch a mark in the synthetic. I actually find it massively overrated. I reckon the first bloke who faces a delivery should be the one who marks the middle stump. And
and just leave it there.
Just leave it there for everybody else.
Maybe it should be painted.
We'll save 20 minutes a game.
Well, I reckon they should just paint it. Just paint the lines and put a little mark on there, and you can roughly work you want 2 legs or off and a leg or whatever it is.
Be a good one for the Southern Cricket Association Continuous Improvement Register, Pete.
I'm sure they've got a whiteboard with some ideas. Second over away here. And that's in the air. I reckon it's going to be safe. It's just over the outfield and a couple. So Singh is going to throw his bat. I assume we're going to see. I don't want to say agricultural shots is maybe the way this one's going to go from Singh.
I appreciate the intent. I think it's the classic way to start a T20 finals. Have a real dip.
Yeah, well, McConnell and Chris Variety here at the commentary end of the ground, and that's been timed well. The dive at mid-off is not enough. And that is just going to cover the line in the first boundary in the grand final.
As you said, quality agricultural cricket shot, that.
Good old smack. We'll see this one on the replay. Just a big thank you to Duff TV. And G-Funk, Pots and Pans, Martindale in the van. Just wide of mid-on. And it covered the grass very nicely for the first boundary.
Mid-on, straight back, Peach.
There's that reactionary stuff, but probably not a bad idea. In fact, it puts Singh off a little bit. Singh's trying to go straight leg side. And at the moment, the deep mid-wicket, I think, is redundant position to the way Singh's hitting against a ball back of a length. We'll see what he does. There's an extra cover that's come into play. And Singh, who stays leg side. None of this moving across to the off. He's staying leg side. And trying to get that ball out towards sort of that straight mid-wicket area.
Just shows his intent. No foot movement. Play the ball on. He'll play 2 shots.
Well, I think he's playing it on his merit, so he's entertaining at this stage anyway.
I imagine he might have really wanted to put that away. That was a present there from Chris.
Well, I just trying to look at his trigger movement. I don't think it sets up for a full ball. It looks like people say you got to dance at the crease a little bit. I think you got to keep your head still, but you got to have your feet doing something. Here he now comes down the wicket. That one's also only just going to get outside the 30-yard circle, and some good running. There's a quick turn from Murphy and another couple of runs. That was a little more control, but if you don't time it right, then you do bring those inner fielders into the game.
He'll be real keen to find the middle of the bat here at some stage in the next couple of balls.
And that wasn't it. It's a glorious day here, though, at North Warrane. We're just at the northern end of the ground. We're sitting outside at the moment. We decided we'd set up in our chairs and give Jarrow a bit of a break in the van. Or probably over the last 5 years, spent way too much time with Jarrow in the van. It was a bit of separation, trying to keep COVID safe and enjoying the action. Here's a couple of overs gone from the McConnells. And neutral start, Jon Anning.
Yeah, fairly even, Stephen, so far. This will be interesting, though. Jack Bowman, one of the Knights imports, will we call them, coming onto bowl. I think he might have cracked a hat-trick in their semi-final against Wellington.
Well, he's played a lot of cricket at South Hobart, Sandy Bay, and he's not mucking around. He's got Murphy on strike, and he's starting around the wicket, and Murphy's comfortably into position and knocking that one out to the off. It's interesting, he's just decided to go straight away around the wicket.
Been very watchful, Corey Murphy, at the very, very start here.
The bat raised and creating that energy. Murphy goes down, there's a big appeal, but the umpire quickly moved to his right, which indicated he wasn't that interested, and a leg by. But that was interesting. Murphy was on the walk then. We might just have a little sneaky look at that, Jarrow, on the replay. just to see how early Murphy walked. No, he actually took a step to the offside, got his legs in line. He's definitely trying to hit it to the leg side, and it was a little unsuccessful. Good bowling.
Looking like Jack Bowman doesn't mind an appeal here.
Well,
Twice for
straight away Jack Bowman's changed, hasn't he? He's bowling full. And no doubt, although he's mostly a second-grade player, Jack, I believe, and obviously Corey's one of the more competent top-order players in the Premier League cricket game. They may have seen each other again. Hence he came down the track, but you're getting a lot of full deliveries. I reckon his shoulder's a bit sore, Singh. You can see now, come on, keep calm. Mimicking maybe someone with probably a little bit of a better technique. What would Murphy be saying to Singh?
I think Murphy's probably saying, let's just get off strike, mate.
Yeah.
This is one of those scenarios where you throw a pinch hitter in and you either want to get 20 off 10, 30 off 15, or get out.
Yeah, they haven't always worked at times, and that's exactly what it does. It can actually ruin the rhythm, can't it, of the other batter? And Murphy needs to face 60 balls here. If Murphy faces 60 balls today, then they'll score 200 on this ground.
It's a distinct possibility. He faced 53, made 112 in round one, and I think they pushed the 200 score in that game.
So deep mid-wicket still in play. And the long-on-inners as well, the two players. So they've got an idea that they want to just tighten it up for Murphy. That's the end of the third here. And a good start here for the Knights, however, still yet to get one of those early wickets. Singh's had a couple of wafts, a couple of balls who've gone high in the air and just over the 30-yard circle, and one comprehensive spank down the ground. But other than that, it's been steady stuff.
Here we got Chris McConnell going to bowl second over.
Yeah, he is. And both McConnell's first overs were good. Chris is he's got Singh on strike. I actually think they'd take a punt here and try and get a wicket. Get Singh out. Although in some ways they might want to keep him in if he can't find the boundary, but try and get him out. Cramp him up with that sort of delivery.
Indeed. I might suggest, though, Peach, that they trying to get a wicket in T20 cricket's not necessarily taking a punt. You would have 120 opportunities at it in a game.
Yeah, that's true. Not a heap of pace in this Knights team, but they've been pretty effective at keeping things tight.
That is a good hit.
Now that's been dealt with.
That is
over the line for a big six. Well, the sun's kind of shining on us at the moment. I didn't actually see that one come off the bat, but I heard it.
I think Singh's going to be just a little bit more relaxed this next delivery, because that was a, well, let's be honest, he's tried to play that shot 4 times already so far.
Let's see the contact here on the replay on one knee, and he dealt with it.
Front foot out of the way. Bang.
Yeah, well, maybe that's his method to try and hit those ones that are a bit fuller. It's probably McConnell's first full delivery. Now he's hitting the air again, but there's a fielder out there and also a little mistimed, and a single to Singh. Could be entertaining stuff.
That's no ball, Peach. That is a no ball.
There we go.
Free hit.
Is that an overstep? I don't think.
It didn't look that full.
Certainly, was it no issue with the fielding position.
Oh, it must be front foot.
Yeah, let's see a replay again. Yeah, that's it. It's definitely a no ball. Great call by the umpire. He was a long way over. Even here, you could tell. Sometimes you know as a bowler, although John, you usually got the gloves on, but you just kind of know as a bowler. It's Murphy with the free hit. The field can change, and Murphy's nearly somehow got that ball to land on his stumps. And he missed out on one. So the two players went to leg for Murphy. So the deep mid-wicket and the long on. Relatively straight. Don't mind this field. It does allow McConnell to bowl straight.
Murphy's put a bit of pressure on himself here, Peach. He's had a couple of swings, kept stepping up to leg.
Does he just need to play genuine cricket shots? He's at the dead pitch. That one's gone along the ground.
Maybe the dead spot. That dead spot is at the other end.
Maybe the dead spot's at both ends of the ground. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, that's a full ball that generally should have carried. Chris isn't expressed, but he's bowling quick enough to get that through to the keeper on the full, particularly if it's a full delivery. So that might be the spot. Not dangerous, though, out there as a batter. Now he walks at the bowler, and he finds the fielder.
Hit nicely, though.
So the tight field on the offside here from the Knights, restricting the boundaries by keeping it 4 players on the circle, and the room is on the leg. And that's where he goes. He gets it behind square. Doesn't have the legs to carry to the fence. Don't think it's going to, and they'll come back for a second.
It's a good shot, that, Peach. Not easy to play the pull shot where you're on the charge.
I wonder if McConnell saw him too at the end of the over here. And we're 4 down. And it's none for 21 in the early stages. And once again, the Knights just keeping things in check. However, the wickets in the shed is pretty handy, as we have seen throughout community cricket. 17 to Singh. Murphy. In fact, I think it's none for 25. Yes, good on you, Jarro. Jarro's on the score and the replays at the moment. We'll just double check that score again. It might even be
23, I believe.
Yeah, none for 23.
I still feel like it's an important couple of overs coming up here. Corey's battled himself into under a little pressure. Solid delivery. Murphy currently sitting on 5 runs off 9 balls, I think. He probably would have wanted to be up closer to the 12 or 14 mark at this stage.
Yeah, he's faced, I think, 8 deliveries. So he's just struggling a little bit to get his timing. That's in the air. There's a player coming out from deep mid-wicket. McConnell's, he ran into it. Looked like he just ran straight into it, and he's disappointed. And a couple of runs.
That is very disappointing.
Well, it's one of those ones where it got caught up. He nearly came too close to the ball, which meant that his hands had nowhere to give as he was taking the catch. Probably just misjudged it. That's a disappointing drop from McConnell. We'll get a replay second. It's all pretty quick stuff here in T20. Here's the replay. So the ball went high. McConnell made good ground, got there easily, and then at the last minute, you know what? There's a tiny bit of wind out there, and I just wonder. It's very much just a very light zephyr. I wonder if he just slightly misjudged that.
He may have suffered from being just a little bit too athletic there.
He got too close, didn't he? Yeah, I personally am enjoying the outfield, and you've nearly got to take the ball kind of mid-rift unless you're going to have your fingers pointing up. There's a lot of judgment in it, and we don't go out there to drop catches. Bauman, slower ball. That's hit wide and handsome, and that's going to find the line. So Singh, that's similar, wasn't it, John, to his previous boundary?
Yeah, just a good quality slog, that.
Absolutely, good quality slog.
It's a legitimate shot in the game these days, the flog over to mid-wicket. When I first started playing cricket, I would have got in trouble for doing that. Well,
it's a bit like the reverse sweep. It's commonplace. Maybe not in community cricket as much, but there's a good old-fashioned swipe to cow. And he's gone. Bauman gets the wicket. Singh gone. He swiped one time too many. And the first one down for the Knights.
At least he was consistent, Peach. Played the same shot just about every ball.
It was probably the one that was there as well, wasn't it? That was nearly the best one to be hitting. And Singh is on his way. A couple of lusty blows from him. 1-6 down towards this end of the ground. And we'll see the replay. Bauman got it up, and you get it on track, and eventually I think that was probably going to happen. Singh was going to miss one. If you get one on the stumps, you were going to get a wicket.
Yes. Walking off for 22 off 21. He brought it back to just about even money. Oh, sorry, a bit better than even money in terms of strike rate.
Yeah, so 2 boundaries and the 1-6 in his 21 deliveries there. And stayed for around half an hour. So wicket number 1. We're in the 6th over here in the SCA T20 Grand Final. So that's handy for the Knights to pick up that one.
It is. And in comes Jeremy Lansdale, Peach. Well, one of my SCA players to watch for the day.
Right.
Averaged a cool 174 in the T20 competition of 2019-2020. There's
a few not outs there, though, isn't there?
He had a cracking 133 not out against the mighty Marcus Tigers. Did follow it up last year with an average of 55.75 in the T20 competition.
So he does like this format then.
Only averaging 20 this year, though.
He's at the non-striker's end, though, as Murphy is on strike. Matty McConnell's come back on from the commentary end of the ground, and straight away McConnell's on the money.
Another watchful shot from Corey Murphy. Just really easing into this innings. Looks like he's batting to be there on the 120th delivery. And here we go with the chalk.
It's a ritual, isn't it?
3 millimetres to the left there, Jeremy.
I do know a few people that never bother taking the card because one's been ground in already by years and years of chalk. But
Yep.
it's part of the ritual, I suppose. Maybe for some it's part of their process as well.
Indeed.
I have a feeling Chris McConnell may have taken a couple of steps off his run up too. Oh, not Chris, Matty. He's shortened it again, but he's right on the money.
He doesn't give you much room. Ooh.
So once again, it's pretty much a cut and paste field here. Deep mid-wicket. They've got the long on up though, so he comes into a mid-on position. So only one player outside the circle at the moment. So the new batter is space if he goes over, but if he keeps getting deliveries outside his off stump and continues to try and drive the ball, he might end up sticking a slip in here.
Short cover in place.
They've had that a little bit, haven't they? I don't mind it on the mediums in many slow balls. I've only seen one so far today.
That is strong running.
Well, I never thought there was two in that.
Nope.
Got to be on your money. So fielding's important. Running between wickets equally as important as do and sneak another. So Austin just making the changes with his bowlers and swinging them around. That one unable to penetrate the infield of the Knights, and that's the end of another. McConnell over. He might bowl out here, mightn't he? Or maybe you leave one for towards the end.
Well, he's only bowled two. I think he's the type of bowler you want bowling at the end. Doesn't give you any room.
Well, he can also bowl a slow ball. You can mix it up.
Oh, gee, that must be a very slow delivery, Peach, if he bowls a slow ball. No offence, Matthew.
So Murphy on 6. Lansdell with that one shot where he snuck through for a couple. The people starting to come in. We've got the barbecue to our left.
Smells good. Smells real good.
A few cars coming in. I imagine a few people will be finishing work. It's 10 to 6 at the moment. I'll be wandering on down to North Warrane. 22, 23 degrees at the moment. Splendid conditions. Only a couple of very light, white, fluffy things up in the air to keep us any indication that it's not a completely blue sky. And we've got a change of bowler. Looks like it's Ballsley Polly by the look of it.
Braden Ballsley Polly, he's actually had a very good season this year in the 50 over competition, coming off a 5 for 13 versus New Norfolk just a couple of days ago.
Well, so he's going to give it plenty of air, and there's the first one. So he's field at the moment. He's got protection on the off as a deep cover. That's Chris McConnell out there as Murphy now comes on strike. And there, two players on the leg as well as a long on, long off. Long on, long off is staying. One bit of coverage now for Lansdale. If he wants to hit through the off is his spot, but it's a risky shot hitting against the spin. So 3 on the infield on the offside. It's a field which allows full and a bit of air.
That's a wide, but it's well thrown up.
Well, it was, and he actually got a little bit of drop. He gets his. I mean, he's got a really high release, which allows maybe a bit of drop and overspin on the ball. There it is again.
Another wide though, couple of freebies.
That's frustrating, isn't it? That gets called a wide. I mean, that should have been hit. Lansdale needs to knock that one down. Now that one should have been picked up and
hit the 6.
That should have been probably lifted up over towards the lights, I reckon, as you come into the ground here at North Warrane, but just decided to take a single. I'd be interested in what Murphy's strategy is. The ball's spinning away from the bat. I reckon he's got to use his feet. We've already seen him use his feet to the fast bowlers. I'd imagine he's going to feel pretty comfortable, John, to maybe try and go down the ground, but he's got to keep it along the turf here. And straight away the change And a slightly pushed into the surface delivery.
Hasn't it been,
Polly.
It's been watchful from Murphy. I'm surprised. Well, to be fair, having never seen him play before, just looking at his stats, it's been a very subdued innings.
Yeah, look, I've actually only seen him play Premier League cricket before. Haven't seen him play T20 format. So I actually was thinking he'd played genuine cricket shots. It's really hard sometimes. When you're kind of drafted in, you're the one, the star, being paid maybe a little bit of coin as well, potentially, or something. And the expectations are high, a bit like a pro playing in a lower grade county scene in the UK, or even a pro that comes over. There's been plenty that come over to play Premier League cricket. You expected to perform, get around the club, do your stuff. But it's been nice to see the change, getting away from the weekend. As that one's in the air, that's going to fall between those two fielders. Great placement. There's been about 3 of those.
It's been an interesting over. It'll be fascinating to see if he gets another one.
I don't mind it. He's going to get a wicket if he continues this. So he bowled 2 wides in that over, Ballsy Polly, and he also nearly got a wicket. And he bowled a couple of deliveries you could say probably should have been put away.
Indeed. There's nothing like a big, juicy full toss to either get you out or score you a lot of runs.
So 7 overs gone here. 1 for 40 the grand final. Thanks to the Southern Cricket Association for getting the Duffettes out and about. It's about our 4th year, I think, covering SCA grand finals, either the T20 variety or the 50-over ones. We've had some unbelievable 50-over grand finals over the last 4 seasons. Some stunning finishes that won a couple of the loss to New Norfolk and the win to New Norfolk. We've seen some beauties. It's Lansdale on strike and McConnell once again slightly back of a length, but they're letting him bowl that length, aren't they, John?
It's been a good spell. Why would he change? Why would he change?
So it's really up to the batters then, isn't it, to make something different happen, to make the bowler make a change.
It sometimes can only take one shot.
You know what? I sometimes think players coming down a level onto the syntho. I mean, it's nice to play in syntho compared to maybe the nice even bounce, but the pace is probably what Murphy's lacking, I'd say, at the moment.
Yeah. So lots of very good players drop down in grades and just really struggle with the
lack of
pace. Yeah.
You've got to change a game. You've got to do different things with your hands to get that velocity through the ball. And he's trying to get some velocity through cover, but there's a fielder sweeping on the deep cover fence. A little bit more wrist action, potential energy swing there, Murphy. Still not in the double figures, though. In fact, he might have just got to 10. Sorry, he's on 10. So what do we expect from Lansdale here? Maybe down the ground's a reasonable option. Well, he's going to be deft. And he nibbles it through the 3rd man region, but it's not going to make the fence. And a couple.
Again, it's just a real subdued start here. The game's got a real feeling that something needs to happen.
Tell you what needs to happen. Down the ground is certainly an option.
Yep.
You'd have to nearly play cross-bat shot against it, but it got mid-on and mid-off up. It's a juicy option if you bowl full.
That's a good bit of fielding.
It's one of those ones where you just need to hold your shape and just take it on, because even if you mistime it, you'll get it over those infielders and you've got runs. And it at least makes the Knights have to change something. Just does little things with his wrist, doesn't he, McConnell? There's another example. That's his 3rd over gone. Be more than happy with that. And I'd say at the moment, unless they get a little wriggle on, yes, they've got wickets in hand, but unless they've got a bit of a wriggle on it, 1 for 44, there's going to be some work needed here from Derwent.
That's just 5 and over. What is 10 and over from here is 164, and I imagine they would probably have walked on at the beginning of the day, the ground in the condition it's in, the weather like it is, wanting probably a couple more than that, I expect.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people say you don't need to get the big score in a grand final.
Yeah.
The outfield's not really quick. It's extremely lush and in good nick, and it's cut fairly low, but it's not really fast. As Ballsy Polly has been driven down the ground, probably for a couple. He's a good runner between wicket, Murphy and Lansell, and comfortably back. Maybe that's the method. They just got to work for a couple of overs and work the field a little bit, because there's certainly some gaps out there and don't necessarily have to hit the big boundary.
It does help a bit. It does help a bit. Especially if running twos isn't your forte.
How many twos have you run in your career?
Not many.
Jon Anning, the Marquis Tigers sixth grade captain and keeper, and sometimes opening batter. I'm not sure. Were you opening the batting this year?
No, I've dropped down the order this year. I've made about 4 runs for the year, so I feel like I should be giving a couple of other blokes a crack.
Okay. That's a clever shot. Inside out. Through the off. And that's a good boundary. And a much needed one too from Derwent.
It's the right intent for this stage of the game too,
we
I think.
Kept talking. Down the ground's a spot to hit, and they've given him a space through the long off region, and you'll see this on the replay. The clever use of hands to just manipulate the bat and get it away from that fielder in it mid-off. Did you see the replay? Just see the last minute change of the hand, the wrist. That's clever. Good cricket shot. And there you go. Get a boundary, and then you can just knock a couple of singles, get a 2, and suddenly you've got 8 off the over, and you're tracking along better.
It's good cricket. It's an interesting spell from Ballsy Polly here. There's been a couple of balls that probably should have gone to the boundary that haven't quite.
Well, let's see what Murphy can do. 2 players deep on the leg, so he has to bowl back of a length, and every time Murphy comes on strike, he drops it in a bit shorter, and he's making him work for his runs. That was a genuine medium pace out there. We'll see that one. We might get another replay, Gerard, on that one. That was a genuine medium pacer.
Kind of wonder if they've done their homework about Corey Murphy, where he likes to hit the ball.
Yeah, I think they have. I think they got a good understanding. And there, once again, Lansdale on strike, and he gets one flighted above the eye line. So maybe McMillan, Jackson as well. The star from down the Huon for many years, North Warrane, and they've even had a go at, not North Warrane, I should say, North Huon. They can whack the ball, and that's the over gone. So there's a few decent hitters.
Shane App did come into the attack. Is that a surprise?
I don't think he's bowled much in this competition so far. He wasn't one I had marked down to be looking out for with the ball.
Me the Peach. He does have a magnificent beard.
I thought you might have liked him. Those that don't know Jon Anning, he's got a bush ranger version of the growth that sits kind of covering his bottom third of his face. And Apt has got a very similar version. He's going to be bowling his little leggies here. Once again, there's that quick single, and you've got to be moving on the mark, and Lansdale good. Tip and run.
It's a real off-spinning leggy, that one, Peach, was it?
Yeah, it was an off-spinner, I should say. Well, he flicked it with his wrist when he warmed up, but he was obviously trying to trick me. Then he came in. He looked and felt like a leg spinner until he delivered the ball.
The old double bluff.
The last minute he turned the doorknob. He turned the doorknob, and I thought, oh, hang on, I'll just keep that one down. No one's listening. That whippy action from Murphy out towards the sweeper on the offside.
He's got good bat speed, Murphy. Just I wonder if he just needs to wait that second longer before he really gets through the ball.
There's a flatter and harder one there from Apt, and they've been able to manipulate that one onto the offside. Hope you're enjoying the action here on Duff TV. Peach Roberts and Jon Anning sitting just to the left of the van. Just a bit of sunshine still left for us, and the van's kind of shirting us. We hope you're enjoying the action here, the T20 SCA Grand Final here at North Warrane. That's a decent appeal. That is no ball.
No ball.
Oh, well. Yeah.
That's
a free hit. I'm just unsure how he's bowled a no ball there. Is his foot touched the side of this? Is his back foot touched the grass? Is it for a back foot? We'll see the replay at the end of the over. Might have been the back. Is it touching the grass? I don't know. Anyway, here's a free hit. Oh. And Murphy smacked it straight to the fielder. He's not having his day, is he?
Murphy's second free hit for 0 so far today, Peach. He'd be very, very upset with that, I imagine.
Yeah, it might have still been a front foot. It's quite hard on the replay for us to call it. Now Murphy goes down the ground. And it goes high into the barbecue. And the second 6 of the afternoon, and Murphy finally gets one somewhere near the middle of that willow.
Let's hope
they scattered quickly too.
Let's hope we see a little bit more of that in the next couple of overs, because if he goes on to make 80, 90 here, he would have just settled himself in well. If he gets that now, he has definitely wasted a few balls early in this innings.
Yeah, it's a good shot, and you can see the people just very close to the barbecue. Nearly landed next to one of the burgers that are being cooked at the moment. There's a chance of the bowler's into the ground. That hits, he's out. Ooh. App could have taken it and actually going to get an overthrow. So plenty of action in the last couple of deliveries. And that was on for a run out.
What did that over go for, Peach? Was it 10 or 12?
I had it down for 10. No, 11 with
11.
With the extra. So that's their best over so far.
Jared Mallinson into the attack here, Peach. A bowler that gets wickets just about each and every week.
He's crafty, Mallinson.
He's one of those bowlers that you never quite feel like the ball's ever going to get to you.
It's got a really interesting action. Is that run out of the bowler's end? It is. Lansdale somehow, Mallison's right hand went down. The ball ricocheted off and then into the stumps, and out of his ground was Lansdale.
Be interesting to see the replay here, Pete, just to see if he did angle that hand just on the perfect angle for which to deflect the ball into the stumps. He was pretty happy.
I reckon he tried to stop it. He missed it. He misfielded it technically.
Let's check the angle of that hand.
No, he had no idea Lansdale was out. And he got his fingers. Gee, that's good umpiring. That is sensational umpiring, because you've got to be, I mean, obviously, hopefully the player's going to be, yep, I've touched it or I haven't touched it, but you would have heard the noise as it clipped the fingers. And we'll have another look at that one there just to confirm. That one definitely clipped the fingers. Yeah, there you go. You can see him clutching at it. And how's that? Mallison's gone. And Mallison turned around to put his fingers up. He didn't even see it. I love it. Sensational work. Well, a quirky way to get out. Fairly annoying for the batter. And a 2 for 65. A handy wicket there for Derwent. To lose at a time when we thought Murphy was about to start going. Will that rein him in again?
Not quite sure he can afford to be reined in here any longer. 22 off 22. He's laid a nice foundation.
So Mallison's golden arm. And McMillan away. I should say, actually, that was, sorry, Murphy, I should say, a single.
Rog McMillan into the attack here, averaging 80 in the competition to date. 2 not outs, to be fair, out of 3 hits, but...
You've done your homework, John. Good on you. I've seen Rob bat a few times in a couple of grand finals, actually, for North Hobart. Well, actually, in fact, once he didn't have to bat. Pretty handy all around, a good technique. Not a swashbuckling shot maker, but very good technique.
I think he's sitting at about 120 strike rate for the competition so far.
That's more than adequate, isn't it? That's just probably what they need at the moment. Looks like they're rocking the North Hobart helmets as well. And he's found the fielder a few times. Murphy.
Just rocking the North Hobart help make a statement to the Knights.
And people that are watching, he's got Triffett on the back of his shirt. Obviously, he's swapped that shirt with someone else, wherever Triffett is. He hasn't got his shirt. Mallison again on the turf, collecting the ball. That's the end of an over, which resulted in a wicket. It was a ricochet off Mallison's fingers into the stumps, and Lansdale had to wander off the ground, run out at the non-striker's end. What a miserable way to get out.
It is miserable. What a great over. Middle of the innings, 11th over. 2 or 3 runs from it, a run out, really good over.
you're right about Mallison. The ball does take longer to get there. Looks like his arm action's faster.
Yep.
And somehow the ball just trick of the eye or a trick of his fingers or whatever it is. And eventually it gets to you, and you've got to do something with it.
Yep. He's the type of bowler that gets caughts and bowled, and I reckon that's about it.
Right,
Nothing in between.
let's see. Apter's last over went for 11. He had a free hit. He had a 6 and an overthrow as well. And we've got coverage on the leg. One of those players coming in. They might get 2 here. No, just the single.
Probably should have gotten 2. Just Mr. Apted gave that just a little bit more air there. Just not a flatter trajectory.
No offence. There's not a lot of... I have a feeling there's still not a lot of fielding practice even done at Premier League, or should say first grade. Maybe doing a little bit more fielding, but it's probably just hit the ball, have a bowl and have a beer. Still the mode of training. As Murph had missed timing that one into the long on region. There's 3 fielders in that area. And now to McMillan. There's a slight change. So another player just coming inside the circle on the offside, just stopping that little punch through point. So he can go through backward of point. He can also go anything short. He can go behind square. There's runs to be had, and he gets a fully. Now there is 2 here. A lot of area to cover there.
Good running, solid running. Pretty good cricket all round.
There wouldn't be many better outfields than this one, would there, in the SCA comp?
Look, it looks magnificent, but you're right. It's just a little
spongy.
bit slow.
It's spongy. It's got a different grass running through it. But, yeah, nice to be fielding on. The ball just runs along the turf extremely well. Maybe you don't get the valley for runs at times. You do get a lot of water just falling off the hill, but it's they got a lot better drainage.
Might also be of the Cooch variety and not the Rye variety.
I think it is.
Just
well,
a bit thicker.
I play a bit of golf, so I haven't played for a while, but yeah, it looks like it's got the Cooch of like a country golf course. Now that's hit hard straight.
Really nice shot.
And no movement for the fielders.
I don't think either of them want to chase it.
As Ballsy Polly might have to pick it up. No, he's not. And that's a boundary, and that was an authoritarian shot, and one that'll create a little bit of confidence in the dressing room.
9 off the over so far. Derwent would be real happy if they could finish off with another boundary.
But there's that swing from Murphy, isn't it? Confident swing. He's moving along now. He's going to try and do it again.
Good running again.
So
really good running.
Those 2s are hurting them at the moment. Good cricket from Derwent. Good cricket from these 2 experienced players.
That's another 11 off that over, I believe. Right, just what Derwent needed, right at the right time too. Ten over here lands him at that 158, 160 mark.
Yeah, give him 160. I just think grand finals, 150 over, 150 plus, and as we see this outfielder, just a fraction slow. But they'll just need to push it down and get that foot on the accelerator. We feel like maybe, John, they're just getting the momentum going on the last couple of overs. And that's been built on a Murphy, a couple of boundaries, that 1-6 from Murphy, and the fall down the ground as well, maybe giving him some confidence. So McMillan will be on strike. Mallison to be bowling from the Warrane end of the ground. And now that's in the air. There's a fielder coming in, but he's going to bounce it in short.
Another good delivery, though, from Jared Mallinson.
Just swapping the field around here. They've got those players square on the leg side. And now mid-off and mid-on is staying back. Still the straight hits on, but is into a slight breeze. And that's where he's gone, but the fielder's right there. Getting a bit of a workout there, long off. It's the other thing, the easy thing about Syntho SCA cricket at this level, you don't have to worry about behind the wicket. There's no ramp shots because you just haven't got the pace in the ball. There's probably not a lot of reverse sweeps going on, but there is runs behind the wicket if you can manage it. Now that's in the air. That's not going to carry to the fielder out there at long off, and they'll pick up a couple from a mistimed drive.
Just done a really good job, these 2 batsmen this over, of hitting the ball 80% of the way to the fieldsman.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yep.
Last year's 50 over grand final, A lot of runs came late through backward square, and it was sweeps and deft shots. If you want to take it on, here's an option. But at the moment, they're trying to strike down the ground, and that's a boundary.
He's hit that dead over middle stump at the other end by the look of it. That is a great cricket shot. Sweetly timed.
That was good, doesn't it, from McMillan? There's that correct shot from McMillan. Nice finish, checking the drive. They got the distance.
Good comeback there from Jared.
What's interesting, the long off and long on have still stayed reasonably square. Well, squarish. They're pretty standard positions at the moment, but
I think the mid-on has come a bit straighter. He was more over towards that red car earlier.
I've seen a lot of cricket at community level on Syntho turf with medium paces, and he can go straight down the ground. Is it over the top? Yes.
Lovely.
And has that gone the distance? He's asking the fielder. We're a long way from the action. We're probably 160 metres from the action. It's boundary.
Well, if that's gone over his head and that's only 4.
Well, he must have been a couple of steps in. We might just have a sneaky look at the Martin Duffy zoomed in camera work. Got any vision of that one? But that was a handy boundary. So a couple of straight boundaries. Here it is here. He's about 2 steps, 3 steps in the circle. You can just see. And then he goes back.
Yeah, it looks like it's bounced just inside. Not a great bit of fielding, though, it has to be said.
I have liked to have got a hand on that. But once again, there is a little bit of a slight breeze. You can certainly understand why the fielder's a few metres in from the fence. But a couple of handy boundaries. We have seen where both these left-handers want to hit. They want to hit straight. Do you stick a fielder straight behind the bowler? I mean, that's where it's going. It makes him change his style. It's a strange spot to have a fielder, but is it worth it?
Interesting now that Matthew McConnell straight back into the attack.
Yeah, and they've got the straighter options being cut off a little bit as the long off is. I should say the long on is. Both got a little straighter, cutting off that straight drive, the lofted shot.
This is a big move from the Knights, bring Matthew back now.
Well,
he would pencil him in for one of the last 2 overs, you would have thought.
They're trying to take a wicket, aren't they?
Or stem the runs.
And they've just tried to tighten it up as a full ball.
Good nut.
But would you take a punt and bring that deep extra cover in just for a couple of deliveries? I'm not saying McMillan can't hit it through there. He can just try and get a few dot balls to keep that tight effort and run rate. He's bowled. Yes. Well, he's tried to hoik it over the mid-wicket and onto the hill, and it hasn't quite got up, and McMillan on his way.
Not a great shot again from, who is that out? Is that McMillan out?
Robbie McMillan.
Not a great shot, but probably as a result of the run rate, really needing to feel like he needed to push it along a bit and bringing Matthew McConnell on right now. Genius move, Peach.
Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it, when it pays off. Wickets are nearly as important in a short-form cricket as probably in the longer stuff. In fact, maybe more important.
Indeed.
You lose 2 wickets, the puff goes out.
It is absolutely the best way to start off with the run rate, by taking a wicket.
So who have we got here? I'm just trying to get a number. As you say, we don't know all the players spot on at the moment, and we're just...
I think it's number 64, Singh. Is it number 64?
I think it is Singh.
Or is it? No, it's Vaughan Allen. And so he should be coming out. Averaging nearly 60 in the 50-over competition, and probably one of the more underrated batsmen in the SCA competition largely.
Yeah, so you've got an eye on him. Good scouting. Connell with a wicket in the over. And nearly the identical delivery, but this one just missed the off stump.
Just a real gentle start. Just a little bit of a fish outside off stump.
It's a genuine little bit of a fiddle or something, and that's
a bit better.
That's into his area. That's a good shot. As I said, behind square in these T20 games in SCA cricket is a spot you can play if you can get the ball there. Yeah, he's been a consistent performer throughout the season. And he's got away straight up, and that's going to be a wide. So Van der Steeg, Jackson, Burns can tap it a bit as well. And Murphy's still in. That's good cricket. Oh, he's not taking off. There was a fielder there just inside the circle.
Really good spell.
I'm just wondering, just looking at the beard, the beard there of Apt. Just wondering if there's like a metric calculation when it gets that big. Is it like a grande or is it a la? What's the language for it? I feel like I'm calling
impressive.
It
I think is probably the
filthy.
Yes.
All right, Mackenzie looks like he's going to bowl some dibblers.
Really good spell there from Matthew McConnell. I thought Peach bowled his 4 overs, hasn't gone for many, taken an important wicket.
Yeah, it was massive, that wicket. McMillan, his off stump was put into an awkward position.
With 6 overs to go here in the innings, Corey Murphy really is looking like the key to Derwent putting on a good score here.
And he's on strike as well. Hope you're enjoying the action. 3 for 94 here. And the first ball jammed down for a single. So a lot of boundaries down the ground. The Knights are kind of playing a little bit with their field. Some of those fielders on the fence are a little redundant as well if the ball is full, but this field does allow back of a length to a certain extent, but you don't want to be too short because most of the protection at the moment outside on the fence is for a full straight delivery.
And that's precisely what he's dished up there, Peach. Well, full and straight.
But this is good from Allen, isn't he? Just straight away, knocked down. I don't think he's actually had a dot, maybe one dot ball, the first ball, which he had a little bit of play outside the off stump, and he's got bat on ball and got off strike, or at least got a couple. So good start from Allen. Murphy on 33, crouched over his bat. That was a nick, was it? Gee, I thought I heard a noise.
I reckon the low trajectory of Mackenzie here has just done Corey Murphy there a little bit. He looks about 1.5 feet taller than the bowler.
There aren't a lot of tall bowlers out here for the Knights, is there? No, I certainly know Ballsy Polly, who's their tallest, over 6 foot. He bowled some spin. Their pace or mediums certainly would be allowed onto a fairground show ride, I would have thought. Be no issue. Only just, though. That's a 4-ball clip nicely through mid-wicket. But there's some protection out there. So, latter stages here of the Derwent innings in the Kookaburra SCA T20 Grand Final. They have nearly hit the 100 mark. We're in the 15th over. Mackenzie slinging it down. Well, he slung it down very effectively and he gets another. And they've lost their 4th.
Really important wicket again.
Geez, it was teasing delivery, wasn't it?
Just what it's cannoned into leg stump. Vaughan's tried to put it over square leg. The shot was probably on. It's just not implemented.
The delivery was implemented though. Here we see on the replay, 4-ball, and he played. You know what? That was a genuine half volley.
Yep.
It just
looked like it was dead hit.
I wouldn't have thought it's going to be moving off the scene. These white Kookaburras don't tend to do too much after about the second over. Sometimes the second ball. Is a nice outfield and a bit of a rough pitch. Actually, just looking at the pitch, you can actually see the lump in the middle, can't you? A little curve in the middle.
Right where the umpire is right now.
Yeah. And it can sort of, I always felt there was a bit of a dip in this wicket. Not a great wicket, or not a great grounded bowl on.
Great shot there from Duff.
We're just waiting for the drone to kick off.
It's
just a drone today? No, we don't have a drone. Oh.
It's the North Warrane characteristic. Lord's slopes on a 25-degree angle.
Yeah, was it 8? It's 8 feet at Lord's. I think that's so. What's that? 2 metres? Just.
Is it 8 feet? Really?
It's 8 feet from not the pitch, not from one side to the other. Just over 8 feet. He's hit behind the wicket. Mallison, fantastic.
How's athleticism from Mallison?
I'll tell you what, Mallison spent a lot of time just sniffing around like a truffle hunter on the turf, and he managed to strop that ball very nicely. Great work from Mallison, and it's probably stopped the boundary.
and one off the last ball of the over just to put Corey Murphy off strike. Might be a little bit frustrating for him.
I bet if, like, Murphy had a look at this and thought, I'm in mid-30s and we're 2/3 the way through our innings. What's happened? Have I got the strike? Well, he certainly missed a little bit of the strike early when Singh was in. But I've got to say, how's this number? 103. That's horrendous. 103 on the back. That's a lot of white paint on the back of that shirt. So McConnell, this is his second last. Is this his last over?
I think he's got 2 to go.
No, he's got 2. Yep.
Yep.
No, 2 on my list as well. Just waiting for the field to get set. So Singh is on strike with the extraordinary number 103 on the back of his shirt. Luckily, he's got relatively broad shoulders that you can actually see the font stretched across his trapezes, one on each side. He's got an open stance and smacking the back into the turf, gets ready with the bat raised.
Good swing of the bat.
Tell you what, how's that got out through the off? That's very nicely struck in a couple.
It's just good hand-eye there. Just full swing, straight through the line of the ball. Could have gone to leg, could have gone to off, went to off.
Yeah.
He looks like he wants to hit the ball. He's got that kind of stance.
Yeah, no, all business. Ooh, yeah, that was awkward. Maybe a little underneath edge onto that one. What's the umpire going to call a bite? Leg bite? No, yeah, there was a little
nick
underneath on that one.
What does Corey do here, Peach? Does he swing out, or does he just try and finish the innings off on about 55?
Well, you've only 4 down. I suppose he's got to make the adjustment. What hitters has he got to come? And
yep.
They've fiddled with their batting lineup a little bit. I think he needs to keep striking the ball down the ground.
I agree.
They need to keep hitting boundaries.
They've got some batsmen still to come.
Well, he's got that through third man. It's not going to reach the rope, or I should say the line, and a couple. I think just can't have dot balls, the odd boundary, but the 2s I think are the key. There are a lot of 2s out there.
Yep, and again, just no pace to work with there. Had the ball just been a little bit quicker, that would have shot away for 4, but just with that slight lack of pace, just 2.
Yep. Satnam Singh at the non-strikers with that crab-like stance, and also fairly tall Murphy. Gets that bat up raised and then starts to walk and times it well. Yeah. And that's going to be cut off just on the fence. Brilliant work.
Lovely bit of fielding, that, lovely. Had the sense of mind just to tap it down, knew his trajectory was going to take him over the line.
I reckon he had a little look at the line too, Ballsy Polly there, just to make sure he wasn't get too close, because you can easily tap that but also step on the line. Great fielding.
Yep.
So coming at McConnell, will he walk again? Will he try and drive straight? Offside hasn't really been an option. And that's hit in a region that usually you try and avoid being hit at, with that little bit of plastic trying to protect that specific bit of region, and he's now sucking up the air. That's the end of the over. He's got 1 to go, McConnell. That's a risk you take, isn't it, when you come down the wicket like that?
And that has cannon straight into his crotch there, and that is a real character-building delivery for Corey Murphy.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with the word crotch. Something about it just doesn't ring true with me.
Well, I could say penis, Peach, but, you know, we are live, and I probably shouldn't.
I'm not sure you can. I don't know if there's any. We didn't look. Technically, you've had no induction, and I don't think you've had any training. So all I said is just don't swear.
Right. I shan't do that again.
Well, I usually have a mute button too, ready to go, but that's in the van. So Jarro's got to do the score, and the replays. He's now running out with a cap. Jarro and I did a few footy games over the years, the SFL, in the rain. Well, I held an umbrella and commentated, and he did the filming. Really? So we can do anything.
I think you wrote a message inside it, don't say that word again.
That's somehow got over the offside. We don't mind it if it's the correct terminology as a couple. But if you do want to make a complaint, Duff lives in Mount Nelson. I don't know the street number. Direct your complaints somewhere up Mount Nelson.
Just another full swing of the bat there from Singh.
I think that's all we're going to see, isn't it? Full swing of the bat.
Well, in this stage of the game, that's probably what we should be seeing.
So
boundary.
4 for 107 in the 17th over here on Duff TV. Peach Roberts, Jon Anning in the commentary position in the van. Sun is away from us at the moment. And the sun is shining as the Knights are doing a great job at keeping this Derwent innings down. That's a nice glide through the off. Now party time for Murphy.
I think he's got to go pretty hard here, Peach. I think that the time is now. For 3.5 overs to go, currently on 107. They're probably really going to want another 40 to 60 runs in the last 3 overs.
Yeah, what's 10 and over still gets them a competitive total. I reckon a fraction short of what they would have liked. As that's driven, there's a fielder coming in, it's going to be short of him again. We've seen a couple out to that long off region and they've just dropped short of the fielder.
Yep. If we haven't seen 4 or 5 that have dropped 10 metres short of those 2 fieldsmen out there, I'll eat my hat. Just why they're not standing 10 metres in.
You just offered a hat
from the boundary.
You didn't even want it. You didn't even bring a hat.
I wouldn't eat Jerry's hat. I'd eat my hat.
You'd eat your own hat.
It's challenging times.
Satnam Singh on strike now as a bit of extra player in the infield on the off comes in to play it. Just forward of point. And he's got that okay. The fielder came in. He's going to make some track back. He gets this one.
Nice catch.
Well, he dropped one earlier. At this time, McConnell manages to hang on to it. And that'll be a relief.
Nearly looked like he was going to overrun that one too. He had to track back slightly to
that was a good catch.
To get there. It was a really good catch.
And Singh looks disappointed as he tracks off North Warrane Oval.
He shouldn't be too disappointed. The ball was there to hit, but the intent was right.
Got a fair bit on it.
Yep. It is a good sized ground.
I think it's Van den Steege now. I'm just guessing by that because he's got a North Hobart helmet on.
That's a good pickup. Another statement to the Knights that he is a class above them. Real.
Some sort of alpha statement, isn't it? Where it's a bit like the old days. You know, you'd play one game. Not that I've never done this, but you might have seen it over the years. You'd see a chap who'd played, one game Sheffield Shield cricket or got on the periphery, played a second 11 game, and then doesn't stop wearing the Tassie emblem straight across his hat for the rest of his career.
That's right. I believe Tim David might have donned the Hurricanes helmet playing for the Greater Northern recently, didn't he?
Yeah, probably. Why not? You should cop a little bit of chirp, though. That's your mode.
Absolutely.
Murphy managed to get on strike as the players cross with that ball in the air from Singh. And the circumspect Murphy knocking it down the ground.
Mackenzie's been really good here, Peach. He's come on at a really challenging part of the game and bowled nearly two very good overs, I think.
Well, I think it was only six runs. It might have been 5 off his first over, and he's well into this over. If it looks a little crook at the moment, it's sort of kneeling down and maybe not in the best nick. Oh, that would have been out.
Tom Austin, the keeper there, just rushed the stumping. Just needed to take that extra bit of time.
Yeah, didn't let it come to him. See here the replay. Oh, no, it wasn't bad. He was up early. He certainly looked like, I reckon he thought he had it too. Another good over. What's that he's gone for now? Mackenzie.
2 for 9, I reckon.
2 for 9. How's that? Slinging it down. So Chris McConnell has an over. Bauman, I reckon, is going to get the last couple, or 2 of the last, I'd imagine.
Three overs to come. That's right.
So 6 for 110 with 3 overs left in Derwent's first innings. And they're probably a little under par at the moment. Murphy on strike.
And you're right, it is Jack Bauman into the attack.
Van den Steege and Bauman will bowl we'll bowl this one and bowl the last over from this end of the ground. And McConnell will bowl that his last over as well. So we've got the 3 overs sorted. We know who the batters are, but where the boundary's going to come from. Well, they're not going to come if you miss it. That was a relatively hittable but delivery, but Bauman's not going to bowl too short. Long off and long off back. There's protection at cover. There is room through the third man region. And we've got 2 other players working the leg side fence as well. So that's the area. So straight down the ground or behind square. And that's where he's gone. The wicketkeeper's going to have to chase it, the captain. And it's plugged and they'll get 3. It's the first 3 of the match. And an ironic applause for a 3.
That is good. That's good chase from the keeper there.
That's fantastic. Would have preferred a 4 though.
Just might be suffering a bit, Corey Murphy, from playing really good quality cricket shots. I just wonder if he needs to pick out a spot on the ground and just try and fly a couple there.
He's just on his haunches at the moment,
yep.
Crouching down. Maybe he hasn't run a lot. It's not super warm out there, but you know, it's a midweek game of cricket. And there's a wrap.
Yes.
Happy days.
Thanks very much. He deserves 4 for that. Just give it to him.
The keeper's run after it again. And another 3. Well,
I'm pretty sure Big Tommy Austin's going to be absolutely buggered right about now, Peach.
He's buggered before that, to be honest. Let's see that one on the replay. He was into the ramp position very early. He's ramped it from off the pitch.
I think he was standing in the grass, wasn't he?
He was on the grass. He looked like he was what's he out there? He's ended up on the grass. That's extraordinary.
And again, no pace to work with, 3/4 way to the boundary.
Didn't go all the way, and Austin's gone, you've got to be kidding, I'm after it again. Murphy on strike. Then he gets that one, collects it. There's a bit of chase on, but it's not going to be enough at the boundary.
I think he'll be a bit happy with that in the last one. He's just got better connection,
well, it's really
got right through the shot.
Trying to bowling short here, and it's probably the one delivery he can't bowl is, it's like he's reacting to Murphy coming down the wicket to him, and he's dipping it in short, but it's literally the one ball that he can't bowl.
He's not short of confidence though, Jack Bauman, so if, he probably feels like he's about 20 kilometres quicker than he actually is.
Fighting above his weight. And Murphy on to 47. Staying round the wicket. And he does get that one full.
Good delivery, that one. Saw him come put it right in his toes. Really good delivery.
That brings on Anning onto strike.
I reckon they might have hit that dead patch again, that one, Peach. That just didn't get up at all.
The Bermuda Triangle on the pitch. It's the end of the over. A dot ball to finish. We've got 2 to go. McConnell, I imagine he's flicking the ball around. Could even be. Yep, looks like he's got his last over. Here he comes, taking a cap off. He took a catch a few moments ago, which was a terrific one. He did drop one earlier, though, which I'm sure he would have been more than happy to get the second.
He has gone for 25 runs off his 3 overs, Peach, so yeah, it's an opportunity. It
may be, but he's good at these moments. And he wants to be in these moments. It's my take on him.
Where do you think Corey's going to be looking to go? Straight back over his head again?
Looks like he's got 2 options at the moment. So when the ball's short, he's trying to work the ball behind square. It's not a bad option. And if it's full, he's actually trying to flick it more through the long on region. Less trying to hit it straight, but he's probably got the straight one. And if you look at the field, certainly no one behind square on the leg. And no one behind square besides third man inside the circle on the offside. So there is room there, but if he's going to get it full, it's exactly what he gets.
Just Corey Murphy there, just eyeing off the big spacious gap out through point there.
Yeah, but he just hasn't found it. I reckon he's hit 2 out there. Just doesn't have the pace in the ball. He's got the shot, but the lack of pace has prevented him from being able to time it. Well, he somehow gets it there with a spank and a boundary.
And I think that's the right way for him to go at this stage of the game. I think just get up there and give the ball a really good hit and cross your fingers that it goes.
And that's a half century to Corey Murphy. And an important knock for him in his team's grand final. He's still better than a runner ball. I mentioned about 40 minutes ago. If he faces 60, this team's going to get a big score. He's faced, I think, 44 deliveries, and there's still 9 to go. Ooh. That was very short.
Jeez, that must look very close to a wide to me.
I think, yeah, there's one for the over. No, that's okay. That was just on the shoulder. But that's good because that's Bauman's short balls when Murphy came down the wicket were chest height. That was actually right towards the helmet. High in the air. There's a fielder coming in. He's not going to need it because it's going to go near a car. Not far from the highway. And that's a bomb.
Great shot, that. Really good cricket shot. Straight through the line of the ball and, 15, 20 metres over the boundary for 6 runs.
Well, when he first hit it, we're right behind the action here. I was wondering, did he have enough? It sounded good.
Yep.
And it was like one of those golf swings. You just kind of stay. And that was, down into the snake territory, the highway end of the ground. Oh, he's missed that one. That's just a fully. It's a good battle at the moment.
It is a good battle. I mean, with 13 deliveries to go, the big question here is, can Derwent get 30 runs to put themselves right smack bang in the game?
I reckon we've got 7 deliveries left, John.
Have we really?
That's work behind square. Hasn't quite timed it. They should get a couple. If Murphy can, well, he's off strike, but if Van Stee could just knock a single and get Murphy back on strike, get 15 off the last, then suddenly it's 140, 145. It's probably what they deserve as well.
Yes, and they'll be confident. They'll be in the game with 140.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's also what the Knights, I reckon, they'd be more than happy with. 145 would be, who are those characters?
Oh, hello.
The commentary position. We've commentated in some awkward spots. This is not bad, actually.
No, this is very pleasant.
Yeah, those that haven't met John before, wonderful, wonderful beard.
Probably the only good feature I've got, you have to say.
You've got a bit of cheek about you, John. And Bauman to bowl the last. He's going round the wicket. Try and get Murphy on strike. There we go. Well, that didn't work. I think he overthought it.
I think he might have overthought it. If you're going to do that, you may as well play a front foot defensive stroke and just run.
Yep, he's actually tried to work that to leg. And look at this. It's really interesting. There's no player inside the circle on the leg side here from the Knights. They're all on the fence. They've actually tried to trick him. And he's literally just tried to knock it there. That's technically the right shot, but he didn't make contact.
That's a better shot.
And he'll just get the single. And even if there was 2, I'd suggest Murphy stays on strike. So 4 balls left here in the Derwent innings. A couple of lusty blows are needed to get that score to 145. And that's probably just a bit below par, but in a grand final, it's certainly enough. That's brilliant. Shot of the day through deep straight cover and a boundary. Well, he's been trying all day to hit it over cover and he finally manages it.
It's the type of connection he would have rather, about 5 overs to go. 5 overs ago, I think, if he...
Really's lacked the pace, though, hasn't he, to do this shot. Once again on the walk. Oh, yeah, he's put a lot into it. His left foot, his right foot came off the ground. It goes again and swings and misses.
There's that dead spot. That just did not get up. He looks knackered, Corey Murphy.
Yeah.
1 delivery to come, and what a big delivery. 2 runs, gets him 140.
Well, there's better work to be done here.
Oh, that is 4 runs.
And I think Ballsy Polly was over the boundary line. That would look like a 4 from us.
Interesting replay here, Pete Roberts.
Are they going to ask for the replay from Duff TV?
Umpire Paul Doran not even interested in asking the question.
Just said 2. Yeah, that's great work. Great work there. The crowd at the barbecue, Ballsy probably actually didn't know. I reckon his right foot looked like it was out when he touched it. Last ball of the innings. Well, that's gone interesting because that's gone over the keeper's head. It's going to run away for at least, well, he's going to come back for a second. I'm not sure what Van Steeg was doing then. That was always 2, so a reasonable ends. There's a boundary on the second last ball, which eventually got called. That's a no ball. Wow.
Another no ball.
That's the 4th no ball of the match.
Wow.
So they're going to have to go and have another spank. Well, he might get that 1-4-5 in the end.
What a moment, Peach. If he puts this for 6, the Knights can be really upset with themselves here.
Well, that's it. Yeah, we're just seeing a replay. Oh, it's off the pitch. I've missed that. It's actually
was it off the pitch?
It hit the grass. Here we go. Well, they're going to get a leg bite. And they hold it on, so they get the 1-4-5. That score that we chatted about. And that is the end of the innings for Derwent. And Murphy, 70 not out.
Looks off 70 not out with 53 deliveries. I think he'd be pretty happy with his effort, but he would have been hoping for another 20 or 30 runs on the score, I'm quite sure. The Knights can be pretty happy with the way they bowled, I think.
Well, the top end, McConnell both at 4 overs. We'll just quickly go through those that are watching it at home. We'll throw the score up in a minute, but just quickly through the bowling lineup. McConnell, 4 overs, 1 for 14. That's Matty McConnell. Chris, 4 overs, a little bit more expensive, number 37. He did come on and bowl one of the overs at the end. Bauman, he bowled that last over. Good spell from him, 1 for 29. Ballsy Polly, just a couple overs to him, went for 18. Apt, 22 off his 2 overs. Mullison, his 2 overs for 14. But Mackenzie turned it around when it looked like they were going to get a bit of a run array, 2 overs, 2 for 9. Top scorer was Murphy with 70, 22 to Singh. Lansdale batted well for his 16 to Robbie McMillan with a couple of boundaries to him, 5 for 145 is the final score. We'll just make one more double check of that because we've got 146 in fact. So 546 will be a chase of 147. John, before we have a breather, your thoughts on the innings and the bowling performance from the Knights?
I really think the Knights bowled really good areas all day. I think there weren't too many bad overs bowled or bad balls bowled, to be fair. I think that the 3 or 4 free hits they'd be really upset with, but I think they went for a total of 1 run in the end.
Yeah,
so
one leg by out of the 4, I think.
Yep, I think Derwent can be could be walking off here thinking that 162 might have been a real possibility. I think both teams will think they're in the game.
Yeah, that's a good call. I think they definitely will be. We'll take a break here on Duff TV. It's a chase of 146. It's going to be on here in the SCA T20 Grand Final. Duff TV. We'll be back soon. The line for a big 6. Well, the sun's kind of shining on us at the moment. I didn't actually see that one come off the bat, but I heard it.
Oh, yeah, I think Singh's going to be just a little bit more relaxed.
And he's gone. Bauman gets the wicket. Singh gone. He swiped one time too many. And the first one down for the Knights.
At least he was consistent, Peach. Played the same shot just about every ball.
It was probably the one that was there as well, wasn't it? That was nearly the best one.
4 runs for the year, so I feel like I should be giving a couple of other blokes a crack.
Okay. That's a clever shot. Inside out. Through the off. And that's a good boundary. T20 SCA Grand Final here at North Warrane. That's a decent appeal. That's no ball.
No ball.
Oh, well. Yeah. Yeah, it might have still been a front foot. It's quite hard on the replay for us to call it. Now Murphy goes down the ground. And it goes high into the barbecue. And the second 6 of the afternoon. And Murphy very close to the barbecue. Nearly landed next to one of the burgers that are being cooked at the moment. There's a chance of the bowler's into the ground. That hits, he's out. Apt could have taken it and actually going to get an overthrow. So plenty of action in the last couple of deliveries. And that was on for a run out.
He's one of those bowlers that you never quite feel like the ball's ever going to get to you.
It's got a really interesting action. Is that run out of the bowler's end? It is. Lansdale somehow, Mallison's right hand went down. The ball ricocheted off and then into the stumps and out of his ground was Lansdale. They haven't played for a while, but yeah, it looks like it's got the cooch of like a country golf course. Now that's hit hard straight.
Really nice shot.
And no movement for the fielders.
I don't think either of them want to chase it.
As Ballsy Polly might have to pick it up. No, he's not. And that's a boundary. And that was an authoritarian shot and one that'll create a little bit of confidence in the dressing room. Sweeps and deft shots. If you want to take it on, he's an option. But at the moment, they're trying to strike down the ground, and that's a boundary.
He's hit that dead over middle stump at the other end by the look of it. That is a great cricket shot.
At the moment, but
I think the mid-on has come a bit straighter. He was more over towards that red car earlier.
I've seen a lot of cricket at community level on Syntho turf with medium paces, and he can go straight down the ground. Is it over the top? Yes.
Lovely.
And has that gone the distance? I'm not saying McMillan can't hit it through there. He can just try and get a few dot balls to keep that tight effort and run rate. He's bowled. Well, he's tried to hoik it over the mid-wicket and onto the hill, and it hasn't quite got up, and McMillan on his way.
Not a great shot again from...
grand final. They have nearly hit the 100 mark. We're in the 15th over. McKenzie slinging it down. Well, he slung it down very effectively, and he gets another. And they've lost their fourth.
Really important wicket again.
Jeez, it was teasing delivery, wasn't it? Forward of point. And he's got that okay. The fielder came in. He's going to make some track back. He gets this one.
Nice catch.
Well, he dropped one earlier. At this time, McConnell manages to hang on to it. And that'll be a relief.
Nearly looked like he was going to overrun that one too. He had to track back slightly to...
over. If it looks a little crook at the moment. It's a little kneeling down and maybe not in the best nick. Oh, that would have been out.
Tom Austin, the keeper there, just rushed the stumping.
There, but you know, it's the midweek game of cricket. And there's a wrap.
Yes.
Happy days.
Thanks very much. He deserves 4 for that. Just give it to him.
The keeper's run after it again. And another 3. Well,
I'm pretty sure Big Tommy Austin's going to be absolutely buggered right about now, Peach.
He's buggered before that, to be honest. Let's see that one on the read. Then he gets that one, collects it. There's a bit of chase on, but it's not going to be enough at a boundary.
I think he'll be a bit happy with that in the last one. He's just got better connection.
Well, it's really interesting.
Got right through the shot.
Trying to bowling short here, and it's probably the one delivery he can't bowl is shot, but the lack of pace has prevented him from being able to time it. Well, he somehow gets it there with a spank and a boundary.
And I think that's the right way for him to go at this stage of the game. I think just get up there and give the ball a really good hit and cross your fingers that it goes.
And that's a half century to Corey Murphy. And down the wicket were chest height. That was actually right towards the helmet. High in the air, there's a fielder coming in. He's not going to need it because it's going to go near a car. Not far from the highway. And that's a bomb.
Great shot that. Really good cricket shot. Straight through the line of the ball.
Enough. That's brilliant. Shot of the day through deep straight cover and a boundary. Well, he's been trying all day to hit it over cover and he finally manages it.
And what a big delivery. 2 runs, gets him 140.
Well, a bit of work to be done here.
Oh, that is 4 runs.
And I think Ballsy Polly was over the boundary line. Looked like it was out when he touched it. Last ball of the innings. Well, that's gone interesting because that's gone over the keeper's head. It's going to run away for at least, well, he's going to come back for a second. I'm not sure what Ansteeg was doing then. That was always 2, so a reasonable ends. Now, we're just seeing a replay. Oh, it's off the pitch. I've missed that. It's actually
was it off the pitch?
It hit the grass. Here we go. Well, they're going to get a leg bite. And they hold it on, so they get the 1-4-5. That score that we chatted about. And that is the end of the innings for Derwent. And Murphy
I knew you were commentating. We've got the raise factor this year. Yeah.
Trent Nolan's it.
Welcome back here. The second innings as the Knights need 147 runs off 20 overs. Rollins, I think, is one who could get the ball rolling, the superstar from the Huon Valley competition. Or Huon Channel competition, I should say. Jon Anning, your thoughts on what this chase might entail?
Well, the Knights will be hoping it's going to entail 147 runs, Peach, I would expect. And I'd like to see a few fireworks myself. Well,
Rollins can do that, can't he?
He certainly can. He's hasn't done a great deal in the SCA T20 competition, but did average 73.5 in a winning Kingston Crows side.
Mate, he smacked it down there for about a decade with two clubs.
Yep.
I think it was Margate and Kingston. Might have started off at Margate. It might have been Kettering, actually. But anyway, finished off with Kingston. The Crows there, very strong team. And he's ready to face the action. It's sunny conditions. It's about 19 degrees here. And you're on Dub TV. Aaron Peach, Roberts and Jon Anning in the box as we're off and away.
And we've got Sawyer Palara bowling the first over. Actually, another bowler having a really good season for Derwent this year. Only taken 4 wickets at 11 in the T20 competition, but has an economy rate of 4.4. So really effective.
Well, he's got an unusual action as Trent Rollins on strike now. The sun hitting his helmet. And straight away he's nipped one out to the leg side.
It's good cricket from the Knights. 2 balls, 2 ones, really good way to start the innings, just to build up a nice bit of momentum early for both of the batsmen.
Yeah, I mean, Austin's not going to get stuck on strike too often. He likes the ball on the bat. Polara's whippy little action. Well, I imagine he's going to bowl the ball pretty full. There's a long off, I should say a long on, and a fairly straight sweeping mid-wicket as we're into the action again.
Another well-timed single.
Yeah, this is probably what was let down a little bit, wasn't it, for the Derwent when they batted. They really struggled to find singles. A lot of dot balls. Now, there's a bit of an appeal, but it looked like it hit the gloves. It's running away for buys of the leg variety, and they'll come back for a third.
And all of a sudden, the Knights are on 6 runs, you know. Isn't it super easy when you turn the strike over, how quickly the runs can build. I think it was one of the problems with the Derwent innings is that they sent you in early to have a swing.
Yeah.
And when you're playing miss 5 times, you're behind the 8 ball real quick. Flick around the corner from Tom Austin straight to the short fine leg. good way to complete the over from Singh. No, from Pollara, sorry.
Yeah, it was all right. It was fairly full. It was a nice little whippy action and a comfortable from Austin, who managed to work the ball nicely. Roland, so yet to really lay a blow.
No fireworks yet, Peach, but he's hoping for this over.
I don't think either of these players will take a risk early with a challenging total of 147 or a total which isn't going to require anything too brash early. They'll just keep themselves in control. I mean, they just need 7 and over, don't they, for just the power play? Maybe 8 at the best.
Yep. It's a real boring way to play the game, though.
Some technical movement here. It's Burns, who's had a really good whack, and it's dropped. We've got the fingertips to it as well.
It's Murray Jackson.
So Marcus, who's
Marcus, sorry.
Yeah, Marcus got a good set of hands on it. Seen Marcus play a little bit, and he usually grabs them. I might just check that replay. Looked like it sort of busted through his hands a little bit. It wasn't really timed, was it? I mean, he had to reach up, I suppose. Not the easiest catch. There's a nice shot. Is it going to get through? No. It's still tap and run, isn't it, John?
It is at the moment.
They're a bit flat-footed at the moment, Derwent. They're going to need a wicket early, I would imagine, just to take a little bit of that confidence away, particularly those next batters coming in, lining up in the sunshine here at Warrane. The Knights batters winning last year over Wellington. Wellington losing in the semis. Here's a third man. You don't always have a third man, do you? Just more of a traditional 50-over fielding position, a third man outside the ring. And
I think with the left armour coming across him, I think it's not a bad idea to the right-handed Tom Austin.
Yep, fair call.
It's bowling well here, Jackson Burns, coming off 9 wickets in the competition at 4.7 and a really good economy rate of 2.8.
There's some some fairly handy figures.
Just going to show that you pick up the right ringings, the right imports in this first grade 2020 competition, that they can just make a huge amount of difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, another North Hobart player, Burns. Played a bit of first grade games this year.
I'll tell you what we haven't seen today, Peach, is a huge amount of swing or nip with the ball. Hasn't been immediately apparent, has it?
Yeah, I don't know, these late evening games, I don't know, there's less humidity or something in the air, but I feel like the ball doesn't seem to swing as much. It's kind of like the environment you train with, isn't it? Oh, there's just shout for a run out. Oh, the finger doesn't go up. Pretty confident from the keeper. Lansdale was more than confident. He's a little disappointed that he didn't get that result, and a little smile on his face as he leaves the job for the umpire to do the cleaning up and fix those stumps. We might just have a look in a second of that replay. Here it is. We've got the nice set camera action. It's a quick release. No, he had his bat down.
Yeah, he looks well.
And to be fair, Lansdale wasn't technically looking probably where the batter was as well. So a couple of overs gone here, and the response from the Knights.
Another good delivery from Pollara. Straight full. It's been the mode of the day, really.
Well, I don't think Polara's going to bowl anything short. He's got 2 players out on the leg, and there is some gaps. If Rollins gets one through here on the offside, which I tell you what, he's a chance, it'd be good bowling for Pollara to prevent it. He will just stay leg side a little bit here, Rollins. Let's see if he can find just a conventional cover drive. There it is there. There it is through. Couple of runs. A little quicker down that side of the ground, and they'll get a couple.
again. Just that lack of pace to deal with. Just punch through 30 metres past the ring for just an easy 2 runs. It's good cricket. It's really good cricket.
That's all they need, isn't it? I mean, they saw the struggles and the battles for Murphy, ended up on 70. It was a crucial innings. It could still be the crucial innings so far. And I reckon for a second, Rollins thought that might have been a wide. I feel like the pitch isn't wide enough. It has to actually hit the grass for it to be called a wide, unless it's a leg sider.
I tell you, it's a brave delivery with no one on the boundary sweeping out there. Throwing one out there is
I thought Rollins might have had a go at that. Obviously no slip in play. Now that will be a wide. That might have even tickled, very close to tickling the Cooch grass on the side of the wicket. I reckon Pujara's, he's probably trying to get a little bit of swing here, Pilara. His wrist action just fading then. It's not a, geez, it's an excitable appeal, isn't it? Bouncy appeal.
I love a good appeal. It's nearly an art form these days. Is the quality appeal?
Looked like a little leg side-ish, maybe a fraction high. He didn't get any support until then from Lansdell, who eventually popped his arm in the air to support his bowler. Yeah, the appeals have changed. I'm not a lot of people don't like Stuart Broad. He copped a few booing the cricket. I'm actually a big Stuart Broad fan, but tell you what, I don't like the way he runs down the wicket and appeals and doesn't even turn and look at the umpire.
I'm not sure it's an appeal, is it? I think he
I don't know.
The old wings out, that's out.
I personally think the best appealer I've ever seen, if you're going to talk international cricket, no, he's talking local cricket because no one's got no idea what he's talking about, is Sir Richard Hadley. Just turned. It was kind of a little bit like Lily, just literally turned, knees squatting in the position to put your arm in the air. None of this flamboyant flying down the pitch with your arms waving like a cockatoo.
Yeah. I know we're not talking local cricket, but Ronald Riggs is
Riggs,
without doubt the best appealer I've ever seen.
Who's Ronnie playing for at the moment?
Ronnie's commentating basketball.
Yeah, I know, but he's not playing cricket, is he?
No, he hasn't played cricket for a long time since...
those that don't know, Ronnie, he's involved with the Chargers. Is he doing stuff with the Jack Jumpers, Ronnie? He's a bit of a legend.
Not 100% sure, but he's a great guy. Great guy.
He's a ripper.
And a very good appealer.
How's that? You just get remembered in your cricket career for your enthusiastic appealing. So 147 is the target down there in the scoreboard. Knights are ticking along okay. Rollins on strike with that offside looking juicy. Well, it's gone high in the air. This could be massive. Out. Oh, he's dropped.
My word.
Holy trousers. What a moment. No sun to pay any role there. And now he's been pushed back on the fence.
Mark that down in the book, Peach. That could be a massive moment in the game.
It was in the air for a long time. That's an easy catch.
Never looked likely, did he?
Well, he looked a little too casual. I thought, oh, he knows what he's doing. He's kind of got very jeweled underneath it, but that's a shocker. That's thumped down the ground. Runs for Austin. Should be a couple.
Didn't that pull up quick, Peach? Like,
yeah,
it sounded like he hit that very well.
It gets him through the inner circle quite quickly, and then he accelerates, and then it decelerates pretty quickly. Once it kind of gets about 40, 50 metres, that spongy surface slows down the flying white Kookaburra. It's been an interesting over. Burns with 104, and then nearly gets a wicket with his last ball. In fact, that might be still one to go. Just getting back to that catch, there was two fielders relatively close to it. Might get a replay at the end of the over, Jero, but I was just seemed way too casual. And in the end, he was about half a metre too far away from it as well as it dropped a bit. Never that easy. Yeah, this should be out. Oh, wow. What's that? One hand, one bounce?
My word. Do we have some Benny Hill music, please?
Oh, wow.
This is unbelievable.
This is Southern Cricket Association. If you just tuned in, you're not sure what's going on. How's that gone there and not been caught?
And when you've got 147, 146 on the board, you need to be taking those catches each and every time. You don't have the luxury of dropping any.
Well, Austin survives, and then he tries to whip one away through the leg and hits his pad, and no score. Well, that was an intriguing over at the best. It had everything that you'd like about community cricket. We had a catch that looked like it was going to be comfortably taken and then spilled at the last minute. We had a ball which just out of the fingertips as a bowler. And there are some of the fans on the, well, we'll call the hill, the embankment here, just in front of the I can't think of the rugby club's name here. They've actually changed it, haven't they? The Eastern something. Eastern Suburbs Rugby Club, I think. Is it, Duff? Can you zoom in there, mate? I can't see it yet. Eastern Suburbs. It might have been called Harlequins or something some time ago. We'll stick to the cricket. There we go, Eastern Suburbs.
Marcus Jackson into the attack.
So Jackson will bowl his little medium uppers and downers. And the first one is a ball that didn't land on the pitch, and it's not being timed out to the sweeper on the leg side.
He'll be feeling pretty lucky there. It could have easily been 4 or 6 bits.
Well, he's dropped a catch also, Jackson, so he'd be keen to turn his fortunes around. So a few mistakes creeping in, and once again the Knights with that steady cricket from then, just like last year. That's been time to treat, and that's the first comprehensive boundary, and in fact it's gone all the way over the white stripe, indicating a 6.
Nice and early in the over too, Peach. Always nice to get a 4 or 6 away early in the over. Just takes all the pressure off the remaining deliveries.
Yeah, it was a fairly full. I mean, you can see Jackson didn't even turn around. Once it was hit, he's, oh, well, that's done. And he just reached the boundary.
It was there to hit. It was right into Tom Austin's hitting zone there.
So Austin to face Jackson. Back of a length and works it to the leg. I should say the off for a single. Where's this wicket coming from, John?
Well, they've had 2 opportunities at it already. I mean, at the moment it's looking like it's a catch or it's nothing.
Austin on 15 and Trini Rowland's on 10. He's on strike and he flips and whips it away for 4. Or is it going to quite get there? No, in fact, actually it has plugged out there. Thought he had a little bit more speed on that one and a couple.
Just a really nice wristy shot. Real subcontinent type flick there.
Subcontinent?
The wrist straight through the ball.
And then he knocks a single. It's good cricket. So an early boundary, a couple of 2s, and just no dot balls, is there?
That's right.
In comparison, I would have thought there was at least 2 to 3 dot balls in the first 6 overs. In nearly every over that Derwent faced, and were unable to get any real momentum going. Whereas Rowlands and Austin have hardly missed an opportunity to get a run. Austin crouched out. And once again, that's a chance. I feel like just on the back foot at the moment in the field, Derwent. A missed opportunity. That could have been a run out.
It's been really clever batting. It bounced 6 nice and early in the over, some 1s and 2s, and all of a sudden you get 12 and over really without even trying.
Yep, Allison apt.
Yep.
They'll be there. Both McConnells can whack it as well. We've got enough, but I do feel these are their 2 best batters for the Knights.
Without a doubt, Jack Bowden's a very good batsman. Hasn't really had a smashing T20 season yet, but it's certainly very capable.
Well, that's it inside out. Once again, the timing isn't quite there from Austin.
Big investment here, 3rd over from Jackson Burns. Doesn't leave them much from him later on. He's bowled in really good areas so far.
Yeah, he's probably unlucky not to have a wicket as well.
Yep. Can't he blame himself though?
He's had a couple of missed opportunities and one that somehow got over his head, and that's been forced down the ground straight to Jackson. So he gets this one. He dropped one a few overs ago, but that one was much more straightforward. It's straight into his chest, and Austin is gone.
Good solid catch. Didn't have to move. Right into the middle of his chest. Nice and easy.
Once again, that timing is off, isn't it?
It's just not a lot of batsmen have timed the ball well today.
No, I've only seen a fraction.
Yep. Could be the conditions. Could also be the pressure of a grand final.
Yeah, a bit of that, but pitch is slow. I feel like it just lacks a little bit of pace. We might just see one more look at that one. It was, and also that particular delivery, it wasn't necessarily the right shot, I don't think either. This one needs to be played straight down, just a conventional cricket shot.
Yep.
And he's tried to take it on and he's missed time. But once again, good bowling from Burns. It's an appropriate length from him.
I think it is Jack Bowman in at 3, is it not?
Yeah, we're just trying to pick up the number there for Bowman. We'll get that one in a look in a minute as Burns in again with his left arm. That's the shot, and a big weight and a big note.
Good calling. Now, that's quality calling, Pooch, if ever I've heard it.
Confident. Well, you kind of want to be involved, don't you? You get rid of a few nerves by what is Steve Smith and who was it the other day? Was it Ollie Pope as well? Kind of was taking a mickey on, maybe not. Really loud, no weightings. That was a crisp shot. So Bowman is looking set already with a couple of nice shots down the ground. And this is their opportunity here just to tighten it up a little bit. Burns bowling well and bowling full and very controlled. And Bowman swinging lustily through the off, but top bit of fielding.
It's a great bit of fielding, but isn't he timing the ball nicely?
Yeah, he smacked it. Robbie McMillan's in there. He's got a super pair of hands. Expect him to play an important role with the ball. But yeah, 3 balls. He's creamed 2 of them. And he'll be frustrated he hasn't found a gap. Well, they're going to get their skates on, but comfortably through. He's off the mark. And that should be the one more. Is there one more to go, or is that the end of that? It is the end of the over. So a wicket in that over. And gets doing back into this game. Level peg, you think, John?
I think it is level peg. Doesn't a wicket just turn it right around, you know?
Yeah.
Only 2 overs ago they were tracking along at 8 runs and over, probably a little bit more than 8 runs and over, I think. And a wicket just brings that right back to a real solid 5 and over. Even money.
So for those that are just joining us here on Duff TV SCA, Kookaburra Southern Cricket Association T20 Big Bash first grade grand final. 146 was the score with Murph at 71 not out from 53 deliveries. 5 4s and 2 6s to him. And then just a couple of contributions from Singh, Landstill, the keeper, and McMillan, who got a couple of 16s and found the fence a few times. We just felt that they were a little underdone with some of their scores, but Murphy did a good job late. Oh, was he? Just for a second, I thought there was a nibble on that.
And here's Rob McMillan into the attack. He's
Yep.
bowled well in this competition.
He's a very good slow bowler in Premier League cricket. Extremely hard to get away. We'll dart it in. We'll actually, he's probably got a couple of different methods, Rob McMillan. He's not going to be bowling the Pulsley sort of model of throwing the ball up. Pulsley Polly, I should say. He's going to dart it in and we just try and get the ball just to sneak on it, look for a bold or an LB. So they're not going to give you a lot of runs. There's another example. It's probably one of those sort of bowlers you could play a lot off the back foot. You don't need to go too forward and work and nudge and craft some singles square of the wicket, but that takes a bit of courage and a little bit of competence. And there, well, that was an outside edge. And there's a couple here through the vacant third man. In fact, there's only one. So Trent Rowlands wasn't keen for a second. In the end, a pretty good call. But this will be more interesting. Rowlands will stay deep.
Yep. Just wondering if he didn't take that second because he might like to look at Rob McMillan a bit here.
Well, I just think McMillan's not going to throw anything too up. He does like it there, and he's missed it. There's that little bit extra bounce McMillan gets, and that's purely because of he gets a nice big pivot at the top. You know, they talk about getting that nice high release and kind of coming over the top as a spinner. And he's, you know, obviously he's a coach and a competent player and family of cricketers, and he's got that good release that, no offence, you don't always get in SCA cricket. And just see that extra bounce again. That's a good over.
That is really good over, and that's proof of why he's got an economy rate of 3.8 in the Southern Cricket Association T20 competition this year.
So it's going to be, I think this is going to be the marquee battle of the day. But Trent Rowlands, the legend of the bush. Although I think he might have started his career down at Kingborough, my memory might have been had a bit of time. Actually, he might have even had a bit of time at North Hobart as a junior, but a legend of Channel Huon cricket up against one of the more experienced Premier League cricketers in Rob McMillan bowling his little offies.
Jackson Burns is going to bowl out here.
Maybe Burns Watts. I'm not sure. Maybe he's used to that there thanks to some of the sponsors. So Bowman with the darker helmet. Lots of movements, and he's got it through the on. Energy from Bowman, isn't he? He's come out full of verve and vigour and ready to get stuck in.
Just looks a confident cricketer, doesn't he? Confident bloke, confident cricketer.
Yeah, that was nicely angled into the offside and found a gap for a single. So let's have a look. Rowlands gets himself back on strike. So down the ground is an option. Long off and long on are currently still inside the circles are in our restriction area. So the deep mid wicket is an area which is covered on the fence and a deep square, and that's exactly where he's gone. He's gone between the two. Has he found a gap? He has. He's stuck it through in between those two fielders deep on the leg. And he's found a boundary. Well, it was the right delivery. He's got to bowl relatively full and can't bowl too much back of a length, but can't also bowl too full either. And that was really well timed. Many have been hit down there. That's a good boundary.
That's a good shot. He just pierced the gap nearly perfectly.
Well, he tried to get a bit of elevation that one, and he wanted to try and get that one in the air and over the infield. So Rowlands is starting to wind his rubber band up and looking to find a few boundaries to get himself in front of this run rate. I want to get back there, Bowman. He was on his bike a little bit there, trying to track his way down and had to be called back. Good ball from Burns.
It's been a good spell from Burns. He had a couple of drop catches, but hasn't been massively threatening. I'm surprised he's bowled 4 overs.
Yeah, his first 4 overs went for 11 with the 1 wicket.
Yeah.
And that was a Marcus Jackson catch at mid-off from a swipe from Austin. Sounded nice, didn't it? But it's the fielder in the way. That's the end of Burns' little spell here.
Solid spell from Burns. Good areas, consistent good areas. Not many runs.
I think he went for 17 in the end. I'll just check that though. He's
18.
18 was it? So that's a pretty good result. Look, it's a splendid view there. Some what's that, Jero? Jero is electrical engineer. Jero, what's that? I can't hear him. Some sort of infrastructure that's getting us power.
That's a power pole. Common.
The common name. What's the Latin name for it? So Camillan getting his field. He wants that player on the leg side to get on the fence. He's got the left-hander on strike. He's got the cover in. He's got a deep mid-wicket.
I'll just be wanting a couple of boundaries here. The the Knights. The run rate's just creeping up. I think it's 106 runs from 12 overs needed. So it's the run rate's pushing up over 9.
They're keeping the field in Derwent here too. They could have a few more out. And it's a tip and run at the moment from these two batters. There's 4 fielders outside, so they could have another fielder outside the circle if they want. None of the extra stuff that they do in the Big Bash, the pulse play or whatever the play that is. That's lofted in the air. It's staying there for a while. He's coming around. He's taken a wonderful catch.
That is a great catch. That is a great catch.
Bowman out. He timed it nicely.
He just made the ground perfectly, judged it perfectly, so the ball just landed straight in his hands right at the moment it needed to. Really good catch.
Just as bittersweet sympathy comes out on the song list here as well, just to the left of the boombox. By the Verve. And the Verve has been done. That was a good catch.
They're up and about here now, Dermot.
Liked it too.
Can't the game just change very, very quickly in 2020 cricket?
Absolutely. Ball was in the air for a while, wasn't it? But had to make some ground to it. And well snaffled in the end.
Michael Snell is in.
So McMillan gets a wicket and showing his capacity just to frustrate batters with his trajectory, which is often flattening towards the body. And Bowman tried to smack it down the ground, and Singh came around and took a fabulous running catch just in front of a group of Knight supporters down at the highway end of the ground, or the southern end of the ground here at North Warrane. Here's the next delivery, and it's whipped away through the leg for a single. Isn't it generally the case that the music goes slow, like turned down when the ball's about to be bowled? Just pumping out a bit of the verve here.
This is community cricket, Peach. We just keep it rolling all day here. We're not pretentious.
Yeah, no, I don't think. I mean, there's probably plenty of chirp out there happening while the ball's being bowled. One of your favourite things to do on a cricket pitch.
Never done that before in my life. Just
chirp as the bowler's been bowling.
That's right.
Yeah, maybe just before and after he's delivered it.
Michael Snelder's in to bat. I don't know a lot about him. Do you know him, Peach?
No. Let's see what he's going to do. He's smacking the ball into the bat into the turf, and he knocks it out to the off.
Nice. Just nice front foot defensive stroke.
He's held that one back a little bit there, McMillan. Oh, he just crept it. He's taken the pace off the ball. So someone like Rowlands, he's keen to make sure he's not giving him any elevation with his delivery. As thanks to Cricket Hub, Good Sports, Kookaburra, and Mr. Kentucky Fried for their sponsorship of the Southern Cricket Association here, the southernmost cricket league in the world.
Now the 103 runs needed here off just 66 deliveries. The
it's happened quickly. So the first 4 overs, no wicket loss. They were going at a run a ball
for 32 runs. Yep.
Yeah, and then suddenly they've literally lost 2 wickets. Probably been a range of dot balls. There's been 1 boundary from Rowlands, but a lot of dot balls, and obviously the wickets aren't helping either.
They defend well, Derwent. In the semi-final, Wellington were only chasing 122, and Derwent did keep them to 117.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of tight games throughout, and the spongy outfield has had an impact. So just a field change here. There's another player just coming onto the offside.
Still only 4 outside the ring here, I think.
Yeah, they're just moving the third man, Finer, as Singh just waiting at the top of his mark. Bit of flamboyant nature about.
Snelled it?
Yeah, he was kind of waving the bat around like a conductor. He's going to have to get off strike here. That's his. goal at the moment. It was a cracking slow ball. I think you could pick that from a while back, but it came out nearly too slow in the end from Singh, but it was relatively well disguised until he got his arm going. Literally, it was like his arm didn't finish. It sort of stopped at the top. The ball popped out the front of his fingers and a single was hit. Now, Rowlands gets, I think there's 5 out now for Rowlands, so the one extra player just protecting that boundary. So they've got a method here, Derwent, and Rowlands tries to have a method too. Tell you what, he's going to have to get his bike on. The Snelders had to get down towards the keeper's end. A little dab from Rowlands results in a single, but made Snelders get on his bike.
Just very sedate cricket from Snelders at the moment. Very, very sedate.
Yeah, Bauman was good, wasn't he? He came in with a bit of a flurry. It looked like he could keep the momentum going from that Austin had created.
You'd like to see a little bit more intent, I think, if you're a Knights supporter. They're chasing 10 and over now.
Well, he's bowled, so Singh gets a wicket, and Snelders is on his way, and Rowlands calls for a drink. He's going to need something special in it because Puff the Magic Dragon dust has disappeared out of the legs and arms here of the Knights. As we see, Singh with the off-stump knock back.
There is a little bit of irony there. If you wanted to play some sedate cricket, that's probably the one ball he's faced all day where he needed to just lean back and punch that down the wicket.
All right, the Woolly Mandy's apt comes in with a beard which is just expressing itself as it pushes out through the grill of his helmet as he comes out to take guard. I don't reckon he'll be too fussy out. I reckon he'll just stand there and smack a couple because Rowlands just hasn't had the strike. Rowlands has faced 25 deliveries and we're nearly 10 overs gone. And only the 20 runs from Rowlands as well. So probably the most surprising things from Trent at the moment, he's only been able to find the fence once.
I suppose if Corey Murphy proves anything, he's still there and he's got time.
Yeah, fair call. I mean, yeah, the blueprint's been created by Murphy. McMillan might, you know what, I'd like to see McMillan keep bowl out here, get another wicket. The play on here as Rowland gets tucked up. Literally.
Bowled well.
That's a clever delivery on the Syntho turf. App just leaning on his bat at the southern end of the ground. A few nerves jangling away as McMillan flights that one up and a sweep and an appeal, but only really from Lansdale, the keeper. Rowland's missing that one on the sweep. There is a gap, square of the wicket on the leg side. There's a sweeper in front of square at mid-wicket. And an early call. Apt keen to get down the other end and face a bit of Robbie McMillan. Tell you what, interesting that they bring up a Lansdale, they bring another fielder up here. So Jackson coming across to the leg side. So they've got one player deep on the leg. So McMillan,
he's coming up.
Yeah, so they're going to bring another player inside on the off, just in front of point. So they've got a backward point or a deep gully. I'm sure that's even a fielding position, deep gully, but they've got a backward point, a forward point, a cover. They've got the long off and the long on back, so there's protection for a relatively straight. He can actually flight one as well and maybe try and get a wicket. That's exactly what he does. And now there's an appeal. Yeah, that ball just thrown in the air a bit.
Really strong throw, a few overs here from Rob McMillan. Gone for no runs, taking an important wicket.
He's got a smile on his face too, McMillan. He's up. And a flatter one. See the pressure mounting here at the moment. It's going to take some special. Derwent came in, didn't they? They came in as favourites, John, didn't they? I think most of us would have thought that with this really stacked team. And Rob McMillan at the moment is putting them into a right position.
Great over, really good over.
What's that, one off?
I think he might have bowled 3 overs, 1 for 5 in a T20 grand final. That is sensational bowling.
Yeah, special stuff from McMillan, the coach of North Hobart. I still think he's the coach.
Is he the coach of North? He looks about 12 years old.
No, he's youthful features. So Apt yet to score. And Trent Rowland's 22 of 29 deliveries, just with the one boundary. Just go through, it's been 1-6 and 1-4, so there was that knock behind square. And then there was that big 6 from Austin, and then he departed not long after. Rowlands is on strike.
Jared Van der Steeg into the
and the Steeg.
attack.
The Steeg is in, a no number on his back. I think he's got, has he got something on, or is he wearing someone else's shirt? I'm not sure what's going on, but it was nicely timed. They can actually go defending against Van der Steeg here. They can actually, so as soon as Rowland comes on strike, they can actually put the field right back, let him get a single, and so one comes straight back in, and they move the mid-wicket across as well. So they bring one, they could nearly bring another player inside. They could, I reckon, they could bring that mid-wicket, deep mid-wicket, or deep forward square, get in the single, just keep Apt on strike for a few deliveries, and literally win this game the next 2 overs.
You're probably right. They could also lose it if a few boundaries go through, so I'm not sure they need to.
Well, yeah, but this is their opportunity to really tighten it up. Apt's knocking and looking to get a single, and McMillan, I should say, McMillan stood there and thought, what are you doing? I've got that ball, I'm going to run you out.
What Van der Steeg does offer Derwent is just yet another strong bowling option. Economy rate of 3.7 through the competition.
Well, that's a nick, isn't it? That's a nick, and he's out. So Apt nicking one off Van der Steeg a little bit quicker. He digged it in. Apt trying to work that one through leg. Didn't get his back foot across towards that off stump. Was in an awkward position to try and hit a quicker delivery, and it probably came on a fraction faster than he expected. And it's disappearing here for the Knights. 4 for 49.
Van der Steeg straight back, no celebration, straight back to the top of his mark. Might be thinking that the short one might be a bit lucky.
I actually reckon that was a good ball. You can actually see a little bit more effort from Van der Steeg. He's obviously got the capacity to get one a little quicker. We've got some fans around us at the moment, do we, John?
Some fans, just the posse.
So Singh. Oh. Well, there's a replay. I was looking down. I've got people everywhere around us. So Singh, that's Van der Steeg, and that's nicely timed. As we're just seeing a couple of replays on the screen. It's cooled off a little bit, but it's still pretty nice out there in the sunshine. What's that? There's been one run off the last 11 deliveries.
Wow. Christmas Connolly, though, for 2 balls, showing good intent so far. Good positive batting.
Well, Apt faced 5 deliveries till he was out. Now we're all dots. McConnell gets one that hit the wide bit. He's Van der Steeg's going, oh, I'm not sure what happened there. Did I really do that? As Doran had no problem about calling that one a wide. He's gone short again. That's a reminiscence of the wicket that we saw earlier. Putting a little bit on that one. And the end of a fine over. One that produced a wicket. And the Knights 4 for 50 and have gone 11.
It's getting in danger territory here for the Knights now.
It's literally make or break it for Rowlands.
Yep.
So much pressure's been put onto him now. He's just a classic batter who plays classic cricket shots, and very much, and he can hit in a variety of different positions. But he needs something from the other end, even if it's just a single, the odd 2, a nick through the gully or the slips or something, an inside edge.
He needs to face some deliveries. I think he's only faced probably one of the last 13 or so deliveries.
And Van der Steeg is one he might match up against quite nicely too. And as opposed to McMillan, who's completely in the groove at the moment. So 3 overs to McMillan, 1 for 5. And that's his 6th run that's come off. Well, sort of 7th run, 2 runs there. The challenge, though, is where are these boundaries coming from? Behind square again is an option, but gee, really hard against McMillan. taken his stumps. And is that the match for Derwent as Trent Rowlands trying to sweep and smack it through leg has been bowled.
It's an interesting shot from Trent Rowlands. I would have thought maybe he would have just knocked Rob McMillan around here a little bit, considering he's bowled so well, and then really taken to the remaining Derwent bowlers, especially considering Jackson Burns would have also already bowled out as well.
I just wonder if he had one spot he was keen to hit and may have even premeditated that shot.
Yeah, hasn't been a happy campaign for Trent Rowlands up in the what's our competition called? The Super Bash.
Yeah, he's I'm not sure where Trent lives. I'm not sure if he lives down the Huon Channel area, but those that have seen him play before, he's just murdered bowling attacks down there for over a decade. And now it's Richardson that's come in to see with McConnell. To see if they can just try and get a breathe and resuscitate this innings.
They're going to need some of their Knights to walk out here and make a 60 off 25 to 35 deliveries.
Yeah, just kind of wondering who that's going to be. That's not helping. I can understand McMillan might be seen off here. 7 runs so far, 2 wickets. There's that similar shot.
Just makes me wonder if he was watching Trent Rowlands' wicket somehow.
Yeah, Lansdale just behind the stumps. He's ready for one as well if he's going to wander down the stumps, down the wicket. 5 for 52. That's a whippy little shot through the off. That's handy. Runs here. There should be a couple. Seeing energetic in the field, getting it back in.
It's the right intent. It's the right intent. They're just going to have to play a few shots here, the Knights, and hope that a couple cross the road.
So in the end, that Murphy half century, it was a hard work, and it looks like it could have been the match win. That's the first thing that McMillan's done wrong so far with the ball today.
It's actually looking like that 146 might prove a very, very good score too, Peach. The ground has been slow.
Yeah.
No one's really timed the ball well for their full innings.
That's slapped. There's a fielder coming in. I reckon he's going to get it. He does.
Another good catch.
So everything going well. And not even coming in to celebrate as I reckon do it. No, they've got this one there. The fielder who's taken it. It's just staying out there and going, don't need to celebrate that. Part and parcel. And another one bites the dust. Right on the toe as well. Good catch.
Was a good catch. Just made the ground nicely. Got in a good position. Good hands. Was that Vaughan Allen, was it, the catcher? Yep. Played a lot of cricket. Doing all the right things.
So if you just joined us here on Duff TV, it is the ebbs and flows of the T20 Grand Final here for the Southern Cricket Association as Derwent are right on top. They've got the Knights in some challenging spot, which will take some boxing to get out there. 6 for 55. 12 overs have gone. They're chasing down a target of 147. They're going to be needed close to 15 and over soon, and they've got their tail enders all coming out. Trent Rowlands out of the last over, bowled by a straight one from McMillan as he started to swipe. He was the last real recognised, and their star batter as well. And now Van der Steeg to come in from the commentary end of the ground.
The Knights here are really between a rock and a hard place, aren't they? You know, with 4 wickets in hand, 8 overs to go, they've either got to really throw the bat at the ball and make some really quick runs, or risk getting bowled out for 80.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's grand final, isn't it? It doesn't matter if you get bowled out. That's in the air. That could be out. No, it just fell short. I think it just fell short. Top effort anyway by the catcher from the last over. There's that little slow ball again.
Looks like he's got all the tricks, Jack Van der Steeg. He's got a quicker one, he's got a slower one.
Yeah, his quick one's useful. I think it sort of surprises. I was surprised two of the batters so far. One of them got a wicket of Apt, who tried to pull him. And it certainly beat him in pace. Yeah, he's that last slow ball. Might have even came out the back of the hand a little bit. Sort of dropped a bit on the batter. So the McConnell's in. They can smack the ball around a little bit, but it's going to take a little bit more than smack it around. It's going to take against a good bowling attack. And even though McMillan's bowled out, there's still some handy overs still to come. It'll be a surprise if they get that close.
Oh. He has hit Chris McConnell right in his guts there. That would have been real backyard stuff when they're growing up from these two lads, I reckon.
So Polara's got 2 overs to go. He opened the bowling, and Jackson just the 1 over him. He went for 12. May not need it again. They might be bowled out before they need Jackson. Singh has got, he just the 1 over from him too. He actually picked up a wicket. Wow. Well, there's the noise. There's the purple stump. As Van der Steeg, top over from him. And the celebrations aren't too far away here as we've got 13 done, 7 for 58. And that's the second of the over. And we'll see in the replay that's fortunately missed his foot somehow.
I reckon if it hit his foot, it was probably going to be out anyway. Peach somewhere.
Yeah, well, he's missed a straight full toss.
I'll tell you what, if Derwent win this game, it's going to be really interesting to see how Jared Van der Steeg celebrates, because he doesn't waste a real lot of energy celebrating after he gets a wicket, that's for sure.
I think he expected it, maybe. The shenanigans just happening over there on the hill, enjoying the sunshine and a few of the fruity, fizzy stuff. Satnam Singh now, he'll be bowling his little mediums. It's been good in the field, taking a great catch down at long on. And it's getting this field sort. Jackson comes across to point. So there's a player on the leg side and sweeping the deep mid-wicket fence on the off as well. And just the long and a long off, so 4 out. As the shadows from the trees just on the grass bank just starting to come across the ground. That was a wide one from Singh and a swipe by Chris McConnell. Disappointed, wouldn't they, Knights bowlers, particularly the McConnell boys who did a good job. Chris was a bit more expensive, but Matty was fantastic. They've now got to do it with the bat. Well, that could be caught. Oh, he's parried it over for 6.
Parried over for 6.
Oh, I don't know. That never looked that confident, did he? Oh, there you go. That was handy. There's 6. Good shot from McConnell.
Can hit a ball, but to be fair, he probably needs about 8 more of them in the next 20 deliveries to...
Oh, that wasn't great down there either, was it? Just did never look like catching it. Oh, that's a... Is that a wide? Yep, that's a wide. That sprung off the surface from Singh.
Missed that dead spot.
He got the live bit of the wicket. That's really pinged. Oh, Alex, well, I suppose when you nearly bowled it to your toes.
That's right.
Nearly hit his shoelace. Lee's aimed there again and he's missed it. McConnell's a big swipe.
The game now entered its final stages, Peach. I think that it's probably gone to script. You know, we might have expected the Derwent make a few more runs.
Yep. That's an outside edge and another drop. Well, that was another easy catch. There's Burns has now dropped one. Yep. Singh's shaking his head. He's disappointed. He's come on and he's had 2 catches dropped and to be honest, both pretty straightforward catches, even at this level. He should be taking over. I mean, the previous one, he didn't even look comfortable, like he'd never caught a ball before. Well, he's in the action again.
Another opportunity.
Oh, he's done it again. How's that? What a method to catch the old two-toucher. I don't know if I'd use that method myself. It certainly didn't fill any of us with confidence. And another wicket falls as Chris McConnell's on his bike.
And he shouldn't be upset with himself because he really had to go, you know.
What do you call this method? Is this something you get taught? No, he didn't parry that at all. He's just dropped it.
It's called a bit of mayonnaise, just to make the highlight reel.
But the thing is, he's got his fingers pointed up, but in an awkward position. Technically, I'd say that probably needs a little bit of work, that fielding method. But the madness was there on that occasion. He scored the rebound. I'll tell you what, he was excited too. 8 down now. They're under 70. We're in the 14th over. Seeing who, I reckon he would have gone home if he had that catch being dropped 3 in an over. He'd not be happy, even if your team is going to win.
Interesting first shot from Ballsy Polly.
Ballsy Polly's been at the non-strikers wanting to get in the action as Mallison's now into the attack. Sorry, into the crease. Ballsy Polly ended up about 2 metres towards the off then as he tried to paddle it.
And as I was saying, this game's probably gone right to script. We might have, before the game, we might have expected Derwent to make a couple more runs than the 147 they called, but with the bowling attack being so strong, it was always going to be hard for the Knights to get a good score on the board.
So Singh to continue here at the commentary end of the ground. A pretty set field at the moment. Mallison with a wide stance at the crease. And he flirts with that one.
That's real indoor cricket type stuff.
Little tap and run into the side of the net for a couple. There's just a couple of people that have enjoyed the fizzy stuff a little bit too much. They've stopped work, they've had a couple, haven't had lunch. And they're enjoying celebrating. And one team is going to be celebrating and one's going to be commiserating. Ballsy Polly was, I don't know, he looked like he gave up.
I'm going to make a very small prediction here, Peach, that I reckon he might ramp this. I just have a feeling that Broden Ballsy Polly is a bit of a character.
Bit of a cult figure, do you think, at the Knights?
No,
it's the right spot to hit it.
That was the reverse ramp.
Maybe he just got a bit muddled with that first ramp shot. He's going, how do I end up here? What have I got to do? So that Murph at half century looks like it's been the crucial innings. There's a couple left in this over from Singh. And the two openers got a nice start for Knights. And there's the, well, he looked like he wanted to swing the leg at the last minute. You dropped the bat on it. Probably the right thing to do. You are on TV. You don't want to make a fool of yourself and end up in the Duff highlights package for the rest of your career. And after the wicket of Austin, and then a couple fell fairly quickly after that. Never regained any momentum. That's the end of another over. We're 15 gone.
It's pretty good over.
You're safe. You're not going to win the game. You're a tail ender. Your team's 8 down, 70 board. You've got to get 20 and over. You're probably thinking, I just want to hit a couple off the middle, make them work a little bit hard for their victory. So 3 drop catches off this last over. Mallison's front leg gets in the way. Satnam Singh is the one bowling at the moment. Only bowled a good length. So he thought that might have clipped the bat as it came through, but they actually appealed for a leg before wicket.
This can be frustrating for Derwent, these last overs. They're
Yeah,
clearly going to win the game.
Yep.
They want to wrap it up. A couple of wickets they need. 1 wicket they might need. 2. The score keeps flashing from 8 to 9. There's
Singh
one.
gets another. 1 more to go.
And he's earned, let's be fair, he's earned. He's had a couple of drop catches.
Yeah, it's a nice ending for those stumps too. The purple stumps have been shattered.
He will be upset that that leg stump has stayed perpendicular.
So the dying moments of this Super Bash first grade grand final here on Duff TV, as it will be a victory to Derwent, as they've deserved it. Murphy with runs and some contributions around him. They've never really got going nights, and that scoreboard reflects it. 9 down for 71. McMillan's been fabulous, but really they've all contributed, haven't they? No one's bowled
Indeed.
too many bad deliveries. And even that 1-0 from Jackson wasn't a bad one. That went for 12.
I'll tell you what I'd like to see here, Peach, is Daniel McKenzie smash a couple of boundaries. He bowled a couple of really tough overs in a really high-quality fashion.
Yeah, he was good.
During the German innings.
2 for 9, and he actually slowed things down when they could have got their mojo going. He's on strike, and Mallison at the non-strikers end. And McKenzie.
Just not sure he's thinking boundary here. He's thinking, let's get 3 not out in the grand final.
Get a red dot next to me. Do they still do a red dot? I'm not sure. It's probably not even red unless you've got multiple coloured pens, but it's a miserable batting card from the Knights. Singh gets 1 past the outside edge. Oster with 18 and Trent Rollins with 25. And the next highest score is 6 from Bowman. So they're top 3 batters. And from then it's 1 duck 9. Oh, sorry, 9 from McConnell. Did hear that 6. So it's 6-1, duck 9, 2, 1, 3, 1. At the moment, McKenzie on 0. That's not going to win you or get you an effective score very often. The interest, I suppose, is which of these last bowlers is going to get this this final wicket. Singh into his 3rd over. Thanks to those sponsors there. The Derwent Cricket Club sponsors, Hobart Workers Club, Rogers Reedy, Forensic Reconstruction. What are they involved in? R&R. And all the other sponsors that have helped Derwent get their season up and running. They're going to get some silverware as well. And Mallison's just keen to just pace this one out. And thanks to the Knights sponsors, Banjo's, Steel Line, the Shamrock Hotel there in the city, Bendigo Bank, Diamond Solutions, Tasmania. There might be some diamonds. Is there any diamonds in the cup?
I wouldn't expect so, somehow.
That's banked. That's a good shot. Singh was flat-footed. They're going to get a boundary. No, it's not. It's stopped.
That's a shame.
Oh, felt like they deserved one. It was a good forceful shot through the leg side.
It's going to be a well-earned victory for Derwent. They're doing some good things in the competition. They got 5 men's sides and 1 ladies side, I believe, now. The biggest club in the competition. Yeah,
they've really grown, haven't they, coming out of the yard. There it is. Singh gets the last wicket. And Derwent are the champions. The Super Bash first grade king. And the last wicket was probably what deserved too, a clean bowled. We've seen a lot of players bowl today. Handshakes all around. A fine half century for Murph at 71 on 53 deliveries, 5 fours, 2 sixes from him. And Robbie McMillan, the standout with the ball in the end. He came in and bowled his off his 4 overs and he picked up the 3 wickets and only 10 runs. Late wickets came pretty easily, but once McMillan kind of got his 2nd wicket and hardly got the momentum going, a real flogging in the end, chasing 147 for victory. The Knights only managed 74 in the end, all bowled up. And a quick summary to finish off from you, Jon Anning.
Well, the scoreboard shows that Derwent have given the Knights a real touch-up here, and early on in the innings, I think I was a little bit critical about Corey Mervitt's intent at the crease, but it actually turns out he's probably summed up the conditions perfectly, shows his class, and that 70 off 53 or 71 off 53 has probably proved the difference between the two sides.
Fine performance here from Derwent. The extra players coming in from the Premier League. North Hobart well represented in this, which is a great initiative by the Southern Cricket Association to run these midweek T20 games to get some different people involved. So just a recap quickly of the scores. The Derwent batted first after winning the toss. Murphy was 71. Singh was good, interesting at the top, I should say, 22 off 21 deliveries from him. Lansdale was really engaged and effective at his 16, and McMillan, a couple of lusty blows from him, 16. That got them to a total of 146. Good bowling performance from Manny McConnell, I should say, at the top. He also picked up a wicket, and I really thought Mackenzie was particularly effective in those middle overs and dragged it back with Mallison. And then at the top, Austin and Rowlands got the rolling along nicely. They got to 32, then they lost that first wicket of Austin, and then really from 32 and in the end they bowled out. To 74. They've only just doubled their total and lost 9 wickets. A comprehensive performance. Polaris started it off. His first couple of overs were good. Burns, who was picked up a wicket and could have had a couple more. McMillan was the star though, as we mentioned, 3 for 10 for him. And then good finish from Van Steeg. He was pretty effective with a couple of wickets, and Singh at the end probably could have had 5 wickets, but people couldn't quite catch it. Very effective performance here from Derwent. Massive effort. Going to the production and the winners, and some speeches coming up. The presentations for Derwent winning this Super Bash Grand Final here at North Warrane. My name's been Aaron Roberts. You've had Jon Anning in the commentary box. Thanks again to Martin Duffy on top of the van. G-Funk Martindale on the pots and pans. Don't hang around, please, to see the presentation if you're a Derwent fan. And good afternoon for now. Train with, isn't it? Unless I just shout for a run out. Oh, the finger doesn't go up. Pretty confident from the keeper. Lansdale was more than confident. Ticking along okay. Rowlands on strike with that offside looking juicy. Well, it's gone high in the air. This could be massive. Out. Oh, he's dropped.
My word.
Holy trousers. What a moment. No sun to pay any role there, and now he's been pushed back on the fence. Way too casual. And in the end, he was about half a metre too far away from it, as well as it dropped a bit. Never that easy. Yeah, this should be out. Oh, wow. What's that? One hand, one bounce.
My word. Do we have some Benny Hill music?
That steady cricket from then. Just like last year. That's been time to treat. And that's the first comprehensive boundary. And in fact, it's gone all the way over the white stripe, indicating a 6.
Checking 1, 2.
Nice and early in the over 2, Peach.
He's had a couple of missed opportunities, and one that somehow got over his head, and that's been forced down the ground straight to Jackson. So he gets this one. He dropped one a few overs ago, but that one was much more straightforward and straight into his chest, and Austin is gone.
Good solid catch. Didn't have to move.
Outside, so they can have another fielder outside the circle if they want. None of the extra stuff that they do in the Big Bash, the pulse play or whatever the play that is. That's lofted in the air. It's staying there for a while. He's coming around. He's taken a wonderful catch.
That is a great catch. That is a great catch.
Bowman out. He timed it nicely.
They're chasing 10 and over now.
Well, he's bowled, so Singh gets a wicket, and Snelders is on his way, and Rowlands calls for a drink. He's going to need something special in it.
Another strong bowling option. Economy rate of 3.7 through the competition.
Well, that's a nick, isn't it? That's a nick, and he's out. So App nicking one off Van Steeg a little bit quicker. He digged it in. App trying to work that one through leg. Didn't get his back foot across towards that off stump. Was in an awkward position to try and hit a quicker delivery. And probably
another strong bowling option. Economy rate of 3.7 through the competition.
Well, that's a nick, isn't it? That's a nick, and he's out. So App nicking one off Van Steeg a little bit quicker. He digged it in. App trying to work that one through leg. Didn't get his back foot across towards that off stump, was in an awkward position to try and hit a quicker delivery, and that probably can't. Behind square again is an option, but too really hard against McMillan. He's taken his stumps, and is that the match for Derwent as Trent Rowlands trying to sweep and smack it through.
It's actually looking like that 146 might prove a very, very good score too, Peach. The ground has been slow.
Yeah.
No one's really timed the ball well for their full innings.
That's slapped. There's a fielder coming in. I reckon he's going to get it. He does.
Another good catch.
So everything going well. And not even coming in to celebrate. 1 over from him too. Actually picked up a wicket. Wow. Well, there's the noise. There's the purple stump. As Van Steeg, top over from him. And the celebrations. Well, that could be caught. Oh, he's parried it over for 6.
Parried over for 6.
Oh, I don't know. That never looked that confident, did he? Oh, there you go. That was handy. There's 6. Good shot from... Be taken over. I mean, the previous one, he didn't even look comfortable, like he'd never caught a ball before. Well, he's in the action again.
Another opportunity.
Oh, he's done it again. How's that? What a method to catch the old two-toucher. I don't know if I'd use that method myself. It certainly didn't fill any of us with confidence.
Ball to North Warrane, where we've seen a very comprehensive match between Derwent and the Knights. Knights here to defend their title from last year, but up against a much better opposition on the day. The match was played in really good spirit, as we'd expect from Derwent Cricket Club. Thanks very much, boys, for hosting the match, and congratulations on your win. You'll be now representing the SCA in the playoff for the state titles. So congratulations on that, and we look forward to seeing you progress through that competition as well. Matt, congratulations as president of the club. It's a big honour to take out the first grade title. Should be very proud, and I know you are, of your club and the boys. Always a challenge to officiate in a game like this. So we've had the best of our umpires officiate today in Andrew Smith and Paul Doran. I'd like them to come forward and accept their medallions or key rings for the game. Congratulations, Smithy. The umpires have decided that the player of the match is Corey Murfitt. Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Cheers. Thank you.
Just like to call on the Knights captain to come forward and say a few words, please.
And it'll be better.
Congratulations to Derwent. You're a great club. You've got a really good setup here, and keep soldiering on that. It was great fun last year playing in the Hurricanes Cup, so keep going for that and get a trip up in Lonnie, and a couple of quiet beers is always a good way to finish the year off. Oh, get a bus from Blunston, you'll be right. To our boys, very proud of you today. We had 2 outs from last week, semi-final against Wellington, which we got through by the skin of our teeth. And you 2 boys that stepped up to the plate, held your head high, as I'd expect the rest of you did. And we'll go into the Shamrock and have a quiet beer tonight. Steedy, through COVID times, he still sponsors us, and we want to show our faithful to him. And he's without him, our club certainly would be down the bottom and struggle a little bit. And all our hall sponsors, same with the Kookaburra and all that with the association. And to Dawsey and Andrew, I thought about it and couldn't find any dodgy decisions. It was a pleasure to have you 2 out here today. Obviously the best for a final, so thank you very much, and congratulations again to Derwent.
Well said, Tom. It would be remiss of us not to remind ourselves of who our association sponsors are. Our main sponsor is Kookaburra. They provide a significant benefit to our organisation and keeps the costs down. They provide really good trophies at the end of the season, and we're really grateful to have them on board. Also got the Cricket Hub, and this year we've also got KFC, who support our women's competition. So it's great to see sponsors getting behind the women's comp. The SCA is also a very proud Level 3 Good Sports Association. We embrace those values that the good sports community bring, and one of those is mental health. So this is a really critical time for mental health, with COVID being prevalent in our community. So I would encourage you all to reach out to those people at your club who are struggling, keep them engaged with your cricket club and your community, and look out for your mates. I'd now like to call on the Derwent captain to come forward and say a few words. Congratulations, Raider.
First of all, to the Knights, 2 years running, you've made the first grade T20 grand final. Well done. Unfortunately, we just got the better of you today. To the umpires, well done. I'm sure that someone will find something in the footage to complain about. To our guys, right through the competition, we've batted well. Our bowling's been on point, and you've reaped the rewards today. So well done.
How would you like to now call that?
Yep. Vaughan Allen. Corey Murfitt. SP. Rob McMillan. Simran. Jackson Burns. Satnam. Jeremy Landstill's hiding down there. Marcus Jackson. Jared Vandersteeg. And 12th man, Dale Clifford. Well done, lads.
And to the victor, the spoils.
Beautiful.
That is a good hit.
Now that's been dealt with.
That is
and that is over the line for a big 6. Well, the sun's kind of shining on us at the moment. I didn't actually see that one come off the bat, but I heard it.
I think Singh's going to be just a little bit more relaxed.
And he's gone. Bauman gets the wicket. Singh gone. He swiped one time too many. And the first one down for the Knights.
At least he was consistent, Peach. Played the same shot just about every ball.
It was probably the one that was there as well, wasn't it? That was nearly the best one.
4 runs for the year, so I feel like I should be giving a couple of other blokes a crack.
Okay. That's a clever shot. Inside out. Through the off. And that's a good boundary. 20. SCA Grand Final here at North Warrane. That's a decent appeal. That's a
That
no
is
ball.
No ball.
Oh, well. Yeah. Yeah, it might have still been a front foot. It's quite hard on the replay for us to call it. Now Murphy goes down the ground. And it goes high into the barbecue. And the second 6 of the afternoon. And Murphy very close to the barbecue. Nearly landed next to one of the burgers that are being cooked at the moment. Has a chance of the bowlers into the ground. That hits his out. App could have taken it and actually going to get an overthrow. So plenty of action in the last couple of deliveries. And that was on for a run out.
He's one of those bowlers that you never quite feel like the ball's ever going to get to you.
It's got a really interesting action.
Oh,
Is that run out of the bowler's end? It
word.
is. Lansdale somehow, Mallison's right hand went down. The ball ricocheted off and then into the stumps, and out of his ground was Lansdale. They haven't played for a while, but yeah, it looks like it's got the cooch of like a country golf course. Now that's hit hard straight.
Really nice shot.
And no movement for the fielders.
I don't think either of them want to chase it.
As Ballsy Polly might have to pick it up. No, he's not. And that's a boundary, and that was an authoritarian shot. And one that'll create a little bit of confidence in the dressing room. Sweeps and deft shots. If you want to take it on, he's an option. But at the moment, they're trying to strike down the ground, and that's a boundary.
He's hit that dead over middle stump at the other end by the look of it. That is a great cricket shot.
At the moment, but
I think the mid-on has come a bit straighter. He was more over towards that red car earlier.
I've seen a lot of cricket at community level on Syntho turf with medium paces, and he can go straight down the ground. Is it over the top? Yes.
Lovely.
And has that gone the distance? I'm not saying McMillan can't hit it through there. He can just try and get a few dot balls to keep that tight effort and run rate. He's bowled. Well, he's tried to hoik it over the mid-wicket and onto the hill, and it hasn't quite got up, and McMillan on his way.
Not a great shot again from...
Grand final. They have nearly hit the 100 mark. We're in the 15th over. McKenzie slinging it down. Well, he's slung it down very effectively, and he gets another. And they've lost their 4th.
Really important wicket again.
Jeez, it was teasing delivery, wasn't it? Forward of point. And he's got that okay. The fielder came in. He's going to make some track back. He gets this one.
Nice catch.
Well, he dropped one earlier. At this time, McConnell manages to hang on to it. And that'll be a relief.
Nearly looked like he was going to overrun that one too. He had to track back slightly to...
Over. If it looks a little crook at the moment. It's sort of kneeling down and maybe not in the best nick. Oh, that would have been out.
Tom Austin, the keeper there, just rushed the stumping.
There, but it's the midweek game of cricket. And there's a wrap.
Yes.
Happy days.
Thanks very much. He deserves 4 for that. Just give it to him.
The keeper's run after it again. And another 3. Well,
I'm pretty sure Big Tommy Austin's going to be absolutely buggered right about now, Peach.
He's buggered before that, to be honest. Let's see that one on the read. Nanny gets that one, collects it. There's a bit of chase on, but it's not going to be enough at a boundary.
I think he'll be a bit happy with that in the last one. He's just got better connection,
Well, it's really
got
interesting.
right through the shot.
Trying to bowling short here, and that's probably the one delivery he can't bowl is shot, but the lack of pace has prevented him from being able to time it. Well, he somehow gets it there with a spank and a boundary.
And I think that's the right way for him to go at this stage of the game. I think just get up there and give the ball a really good hit and cross fingers that it goes.
And that's a half century to Corey Murphy. And down the wicket were chest height. That was actually right towards the helmet. High in the air, there's a fielder coming in. He's not going to need it because it's going to go near a car. Not far from the highway. And that's a bomb.
Great shot there. Really good cricket shot. Straight through the line of the ball.
Enough. That's brilliant. Shot of the day through deep straight cover and a boundary. Well, he's been trying all day to hit it over cover and he finally manages it.
And what a big delivery. 2 runs, gets him 140.
Well, A bit of work to be done here.
Oh, that is 4 runs.
And I think Ballsy Polly was over the boundary line. Looked like it was out when he touched it. Last ball of the innings. Well, that's gone interesting because that's gone over the keeper's head. It's going to run away for at least, well, he's going to come back for a second. I'm not sure what Van Steeg was doing then. That was always 2, so reasonable ends. Now, we're just seeing a replay. Oh, it's off the pitch. I've missed that. It's actually
was it off the pitch?
It hit the grass. Here we go. Well, they're going to get a leg bite. And they hold it on, so they get the 1-4-5. That score that we chatted about. And that is the end of the innings for Derwent. And it's kind of like the environment you train with, isn't it? Oh, so just shout for a run out. Oh, the finger doesn't go up. Pretty confident from the keeper. Landstyle was more than confident. Ticking along okay. Roland's on strike with that offside looking juicy. Well, it's gone high in the air. This could be massive. Out. Oh, he's dropped.
My word.
Holy trousers. What a moment. No sun to pay any role there, and now he's been pushed back on the fence. Way too casual. And in the end, he was about half a metre too far away from it as well as it dropped a bit. Never that easy. Now, this should be out. Oh, wow. What's that? One hand, one bounce?
My word. Do we have some Benny Hill music?
With that steady cricket from then, just like last year. That's been time to treat. And that's the first comprehensive boundary. And in fact, it's gone all the way over the white stripe, indicating a 6.
Nice nearly in the over 2, Peach.
He's had a couple of missed opportunities and one that somehow got over his head, and that's been forced down the ground straight to Jackson. So he gets this one. He dropped one a few overs ago, but that one was much more straightforward. It's straight into his chest, and Austin is gone.
Good solid catch. Didn't have to move.
Outside, so they can have another fielder outside the circle if they want. None of the extra stuff that they do in the Big Bash, the pulse play or whatever the play that is. That's lofted in the air. It's staying there for a while. He's coming around. He's taken a wonderful catch.
That is a great catch. That is a great catch.
Bowman out. He timed it nicely.
They're chasing 10 and over now.
Well, he's bowled, so Singh gets a wicket, and Snelders is on his way, and Roland's called for a drink. He's going to need something special in it.
Another strong bowling option. Economy rate of 3.7 through the competition.
Well, that's a nick, isn't it? That's a nick, and he's out. So App nicking one off Van der Steeg a little bit quicker. He digged it in. App trying to work that one through leg. Didn't get his back foot across towards that off stump. Was in an awkward position to try and hit a quicker delivery. And probably
another strong bowling option. Economy rate of 3.7 through the competition.
Well, that's a nick, isn't it? That's a nick, and he's out. So App nicking one off Van der Steeg a little bit quicker. He digged it in. App trying to work that one through leg. Didn't get his back foot across towards that off stump. Was in an awkward position to try and hit a quicker delivery. And probably can't. Behind square again is an option, but too really hard against McMillan. He's taken his stumps. And is that the match for Derwent as Trent Rowlands trying to sweep and smack it through?
It's actually looking like that 146 might prove a very, very good score too, Peach. The ground has been slow.
Yeah.
No one's really timed the ball well for their full innings.
That's slapped. There's a fielder coming in. I reckon he's going to get it. He does.
Another good catch.
So everything going well. And not even coming in to celebrate. One over from him too. Actually picked up a wicket. Wow. Well, there's the noise. There's the purple stump. As Van der Steeg, top over from him. And the celebrations. Well, that could be caught. Oh, he's parried it over for 6.
Parried over for 6.
Oh, I don't know. That never looked that confident, did he? Oh, there you go. That was handy. There's 6. Good shot from... Be taken over. I mean, the previous one, it didn't even look comfortable, like he'd never caught a ball before. Well, he's in the action again.
Another opportunity.
Oh, he's done it again. How's that? What a method to catch the old two-toucher. I don't know if I'd use that method myself. It certainly didn't fill any of us with confidence.
Need 1 wicket, they might need 2. The score keeps flashing from 8 to 9.
Oh, Singh gets another. 1 more to go.
And he's earned, let's be fair, he's earned. He's had a couple of drop catches.
It's a nice ending for those stumps too. The purple stumps have been shattered.
He will be up. It's going to be a well-earned victory for Derwent. They're doing some good things in the competition. They got 5 men's sides and 1 ladies side, I believe, now. The biggest club in the competition.
Yeah, they've really grown, haven't they, coming out of the yard. There it is. Singh gets the last wicket. And Derwent are the champions. The Super Bash first grade King. And the last wicket was probably what deserved too, a clean bowled. We've seen a lot of players bowl today. Handshake.